Hello and welcome to episode 397 of 10 o'clock. I am MDRLOz. This is Xeno.
Hello.
And for a special repeat guest this week, we have MCgamerCZ.
Hello there.
Ah, now I can't remember what the number was. It was like, I think it was 2 years ago we had you on. It was 2 years ago.
Yes, around 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was May 2019. I literally just looked this up 2 seconds ago.
I spent a little time rewatching
290. 107 episodes ago.
Wow. I was watching it, and just so you could, what we were talking about, we were talking about how is it the Jovian Concord? Was that the name of the quest with the rope-a-dope list? We're like, oh, that's been delayed. We were like, oh no, it's been delayed. That doesn't feel like 2 years ago, but it apparently was. But anyway, we have you here again, sir, which is great. Now, I shall hand you over to Xeno to do the introduction stuff. Go.
Yeah. So, Loz, hit it. Number 12. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, where to start? What, you are our first YouTuber guest we've had on since we started doing these introduction pieces, so this feels a little off. I do apologize to everyone. We're
not very good at doing these, are we? We should maybe like have a proper structured system. No, we just do it, but we wing it. We love winging it.
Wing it. So, MC, we've been doing YouTube for a long time, still doing Warframe content, which is absolutely fantastic. You're doing your little 3-minute digest videos, which are incredible. Tell us about them.
Oh, why, thank you. I just thought at some point I was going through the codex and I was like, well, it would be great if I could see what the weapon is actually about instead of seeing a bunch of numbers. So I came up with this idea, and I don't know why I decided it would be 3 minutes, that I would just go through all the weapons in the game alphabetically, and I would do a very quick review on them, so you know how to get them, what they do, what they look like, and roughly how to build them. That was basically the idea in there. I think it turned out pretty great.
Where are you up to at the moment? You're on C.
I am C.
How? Okay, I don't really know, but how many weapons is that? Because
a lot. I'm finishing C, and I'm episode 80 or 90, something like that.
Sorry. Episode 80/90, and you're only on C.
Yes, I can actually look it up. Actually, I'm 75.
75.
76 or 77 to finish C.
Oh my lord!
And that's skipping all the arc guns.
What? Okay. Yep, that's the crazy feat. Do you have a schedule of theoretically I'll be done in 2030?
I try not to think about that.
That's fair. I don't blame you. Right.
Content for days. Content for days.
Yeah, to be fair though, the A has all the akimbo weapons in it, so that was a lot of videos.
That's true.
Yeah. Right, so I assume people can easily find you on youtube.com/MCgamerCZ.
Yes, indeed. That is precisely what it is.
What's your favorite video that you've ever done?
Ooh, my favorite video. I think it's how to solo the terror list. When it was still fairly new and people were scared and a lot of people weren't doing it, I thought, I'm just going to go through. I'm going to spend 3 days doing nothing but fighting the terror list and just make a video that has all the things you need. And I think that's still my favorite video that I've done.
I think years ago that was the video guide I used when I wanted to solo the terrorist. Actually, yeah.
Hey, I do believe it helps.
Must be. I've not done it in a while. I assume it's ridiculously easy now. You just throw a giant robot at it. Oh, dear.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what weapon, for your 3-minute guides, are you least looking forward to do? So one that you haven't done yet.
The Daiku, which is actually coming up fairly soon, because for some reason people really like the Daiku and I don't. And they always let me know that it's the wrong thing to think. Because apparently the Daiku is the best.
Yep.
They are so wrong.
It's all right. This is the big bow. Just weird for people to play favorites so much.
What do you mean it's weird? Everyone plays favorites all the time.
But the Daiku.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
I know, right? Of all the things, it's the Daiku, the big bow.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it's one of the few weapons which has a conclave mod which actually affects it in the rest of the game, I think.
Oh, is that true? I didn't actually know that.
I swear it's the Daiku, that there's a mod for it that you get through conclave, which can actually, because most of them are conclave only, which can affect it in the rest. I swear, I'm gonna have to find this up. If I'm wrong, I'll be annoyed. But if I'm right, I'm like, yes,
looking it up right
I
now.
can do wiki. I swear it is the Daiku. I'm gonna load my thing that'll make horrible sounds, and Xeno will be annoyed.
Am I?
Yes.
So,
Daiku.
on a slight tangent, while Loz is looking up things about the Daiku,
The Daiku.
I recently saw a video of yours where you were saying that the videos, the 3-minute videos, that they're not really monetizable because they're too short for YouTube or something. Am I correct in remembering this, or am I getting it horribly wrong?
Yes. 3-minute videos used to be kind of good on YouTube, but there is a reason why a lot of animators that do short videos either run through Patreon or the member system or something like that, because short videos, unless they get stupendous amounts of views, don't really make a lot of money anymore. It's all about the longer videos nowadays.
And I remember you saying that you didn't want to do an advertising segment on like a sponsor segment on these videos, because you go from an advertisement to a sponsorship to then a video that's probably about as long as this advert and the sponsorship put together. So tell us, what is your preferred method of support from your fans, aka Patreon? Or
well, I've recently started the YouTube member program where you can like join. It's essentially Patreon, but it's baked into YouTube. And you can give people some benefits, which I really didn't want to do, which kind of makes it difficult because people want to join the member system to get perks, but then I don't really give them any perks because I feel like on YouTube, I hate the idea of separating content for people that are willing to pay me money.
Yeah.
That just doesn't seem right. So I was like, look, I made a video. I explained it. I was like, look, I have this member system. You're not really going to get anything out of it. It's just there if you want to support me. But I'm not separating my videos for people that can't pay and for people that can pay. That just is not a thing I want to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's admirable of you not to get sponsored segments from Raid Shadow Legends.
Raid Shadow Legends. It's your boy.
Funny thing, I have actually played Raid Shadow Legends recently, and I made a video about it on my second channel because it's such a meme game. I was genuinely curious what it's about, so I decided to play it, and I actually made a video about it.
Wait. What's your second channel? I didn't know you had a second channel.
It's just MCgamerCZ Extra. I upload there like once every few years.
Fair. We'll put a link to that. So, we'll put a link to your How to Solo a Terror list. Do you have a playlist for your 3-minute videos?
Yes, it's the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia. It should be the first one on the channel.
Minute videos, and we'll also put in a link to your Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, we'll put in some links in the description below for anyone to come check out your stuff. Is there anything you want to say to finalize your, hey, come find me and stuff? I mean, probably the majority of the people here will actually already know who you are. At least they should, because we had you on 107 episodes ago and you were amazing. And yeah.
Oh, why, thank you. I think that pretty much covers it. I like making videos about Warframe, so that's what I do. And I hope you people will enjoy it as well.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Well, that's it for.
So I was right about the Daiku. No, it does have a
Right
mod.
about
Just quickly, I just appeal. There is a mod that it increases the damage of the Daiku by up to 40% at max if the target is 15 meters away or more.
Oh, that's the spring-loaded something?
Broadhead,
Isn't
yes.
it?
Yep.
Yes.
However, it was originally available in the Conclave, but it looks like it now can drop from the Conculist and is also in Nightwave cred offerings. They've put it in other places. That's just a shame because I thought it was kind of cool. You had to do PvP to get that mod if you wanted it to improve your Daiku. Anyway, that's it. Daiku away. Yes.
Right, do you wanna hide the thing? Good man. Right, so moving on to Dojo Dusting.
No.
No? Oh, shoot! I'm sorry. Yes, the emblems. My bad. Right. So MCgamerCZ, you may have remembered this from 109 episodes ago, or the last time.
I think I do.
Whatever criteria you want to go by, which emblem wins?
Is it the 2 weeb picture?
It is the 2 very weeb-looking pictures. Loz, right, so I just to give a little context to this, Loz gave me his, right? And
I see why you didn't reply.
No. So Loz gave me his, and I was, I have to go find an emblem. And I remember, so I was getting like really giddy because in a few weeks' time when TennoCon happens, we're going to be able to get an absolute swash of emblems. Right?
Yes.
And then I thought to myself, very simple thing. Do I already have a swash of emblems that I've forgotten about from last TennoCon? Lo and behold, the answer is yes. Yes, I do. Right? And I found this one and I thought, you know what? Quid pro quo. So, you know.
I think we've had one like that similar before, but I don't think it had the ponytail back then. Don't remember the ponytail bit. That could be new. But still, yes. So the battle of the waifus.
which degenerate are you going to yeah.
Well, like I don't even know what I should judge it by, honestly.
Whatever you want.
I'm gonna go with the one that says Doom.
Doom.
Because the face is just I don't know, the face with the word Doom underneath it. It
Doom.
just I like it more. I think.
Fair enough.
I think I like it more. Yeah, the Doom one.
I was kind of expecting you to say the Doom one is like because it says Doom and at least has something to it. The other one has nothing. I can't see anything. Nothing is there.
I only see Doom.
However, if you wish to win 75 platinum for your platform of choice, go into the description below where you'll find a link to this week's polls and these emblems. Just fill in the form and you'll automatically be entered in for the 2-week giveaway of 75 platinum for all 4 platforms. That is it, you know. Make sure you get your in-game name correct. Make sure you choose your platform. If it's incorrect, then no one wins for that platform. You know,
and if you're on console, you have a very good chance of winning, especially Switch.
Yeah, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. You guys are just like, you know.
I'm tempted to make a Switch, just make a Switch, just to start accumulating platinum. So much platinum,
and then sell it on the black market.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's not tradable, is it? Damn it. Right, well, that goes that plan. So
yeah, it's untradeable. Yes, that is true.
Let's move on to Dojo Dusting this time. And not be a giant failure in forgetting the order of things. Do you want to put the emblems away? There we go. Cool. Right, so Dojo Dusting. I can't think that... Is there much to say? I mean, we're anticipating TennoCon.
We're not in the shadow of TennoCon. What are we in? The looming shadow of coming TennoCon, I guess? You know, it's like when you're walking towards a mountain, and you can see the mountain getting bigger and bigger. Soon you will reach the mountain.
Something like
that. Is the 30.5 update before or after? That's before TennoCon, right?
I reckon it's going to be before.
I reckon as well.
Right. I reckon it's going to be before. Right. Because I think they're going to want
29 days till TennoCon, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, let me look it up.
Well, that can't be so because it's on the 17th. We're on the 25th right now.
Oh, sorry, 19 days.
Right.
Doy.
Okay.
Brain.
Yeah. So 19 days until. Well, what is it going to be on Monday when this episode?
Oh no,
comes out?
sorry, I'm completely wrong at the moment. Well, no, actually, do you know, I'm pretty much right because the timer at the moment says 21 days, 8 hours, 32 minutes. So when this comes out, it will be 19 days.
Yeah.
I am that.
Maybe we'll do. Maybe they'll do the whole. And at the end of TennoCon, you can now play 30.5. That'll be a good closer, kind of.
It would, but at the same time, you got to think that they're going to close it at the end of the day, right? I think TennoCon's at like 5 p.m. for them. And if there's any issues, like Tenno Live, if there's any technical issues, right, they're going to be up till like stupid o'clock in the morning dealing with it.
Yeah.
And then
it's a weekend.
They'll have to work. Yeah, exactly. They'll have to work the weekend as well.
Well, you know, they did release a few updates at questionable times before.
That is true. Like what was the one that they did for the first TennoCon?
Spectres of the
with, yes. Yeah. They regretted that.
I also specifically remember one update around Christmas that was pretty borked, and then they left office and it was borked until New Year.
Oh.
Which one was that one?
I don't remember. It's been a while.
So many Christmases. So much bulk content.
That's true. Right.
But yeah, so no, I would say either it'll come before TennoCon, so they have time to fix it. I wouldn't say they should release it on TennoCon. If anything, it'll maybe come a few days later during the week, because then they could then do the fixes if need be during the week. Yeah. But most of the main people take their time off after TennoCon because they work and work and work their socks off to get stuff ready for TennoCon, and then afterwards they want a break because they deserve it. But, you know, so that's why it normally was them. But also this one, I expect to come beforehand because there's or either early beforehand or a week or so afterwards, because there's, you know, all the ups and downs with the melee stuff and the forums be exploding, the Reddit be on fire. You know, I can't believe they'd be like, let's drop this over TennoCon. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
No. It's going to be a big one.
Do you have any speculations? Do you have any speculations on what the big reveal is going to be?
I have absolutely no idea, because every year they reveal most things that I have no clue they could even do. So I just kind of gave up on trying to guess what they're going to bring to the game.
That's fair. That is totally fair. Most people do give up on it. So, I mean,
in a good way, though. I mean it in a good way. I don't mean it in a bad way, because they add some weird things that you wouldn't expect, and they a lot of the time turn out really well. So, you know, it's like excited giving up because they're creative.
I'm mostly hoping for the new war. That's my biggest hope.
Right, every time someone mentions the new war or like Plains of Duviri, I'm like, right, that's a thing. I completely forgot about that.
Oh yeah, cool. Right, should we go into the war report?
The war report.
You're gonna do your intro.
What?
You know when he goes like,
but I want a war report. We should have like a slider thing where it slides across the screen and says war report. This week in Warfare.
Okay, I'll get you an intro. Cool. Right. So
I mean, Cephalon Squared do intro.
Fine, I'll get you a bloody intro. I'm just
this week in Warframe. Sorry, this section is, and I wouldn't say there's too big of a thing in this week in Warframe. Obviously, is still Shadow TennoCon, but we were going to point out the dev workshop, which is still going on, still ongoing, and I think there was a post yesterday, which is a few days for when this comes out. Updates and changes and everything's still up in the air. I think one of the major things is the mods have now moved from Steel Path to Arbitrations, and Arbitrations are going to get a drop rate buff as well. All up in the air still. So that's pretty much all that's going on at the moment, is that thread. That's just dominating everything.
Okay. MC. I'm not going to go into the crazy details of these mods. I don't care enough about the numbers. All right. But my honest hope was that they were going to stay in Steel Path to reward us for playing Steel Path. How do you feel that they've been moved to arbitrations?
I actually like it because it feels like, if these mods drop in Steel Path, you have to do Steel Path to get the mods that are supposed to help you in Steel Path. So they would essentially just make Steel Path easier as you keep going. And
Yeah.
arbitrations, what do you really get out of arbitrations? Like, what was the last thing you earned from arbitrations, for example? Can you remember?
Yeah, Vitus Essence.
Which you spent on.
Oh, I haven't spent any of it.
So
See?
you've literally just been doing the only thing arbitration. Like, what have you gained out of arbitrations? Currency.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll totally get you. I'll totally give you that. Yeah. I've been getting these useless tokens that have been sat in my wallet for God knows how long. And
Yeah,
wait, was there any cosmetics that came with it? I don't think there was.
We did do the footage that's running. You did get the seeding essence with ephemera.
Oh yeah.
As a drop. But I mean,
So
that
the
could have
Vitus
just a drop. It wasn't actually key for the game mode. That could have just dropped in Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. It made no difference that you got it from
I'm never going to
arbitrations.
use it though.
Yeah.
It's too obnoxious. I don't know. I don't like it, so I'm not going to use it. So yeah, Vitus Essence. I got Disneyland bucks. There you go.
But I think. Oh, you go.
Yeah, do go on.
Oh. No. Well, I was just going to quickly add, I think that the arcanes are still going to be in Steel Path, so at least there's that. That's what I was going to say.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. But I like the mods moving to arbitration. So there's something in arbitrations because I don't feel any need to do arbitrations. Also, one thing, I like the idea of the mods. It's basically the only way to buff guns without just, buffing guns, because the mod space on guns is terrible. But the one thing I don't like about them is how much capacity they drain, and I talked about this in a video, because it's already so much harder to mod guns. In terms of format, it takes so much more format to mod guns than melee weapons, and this is going to make it even worse. So that's the one thing I don't like about the mods.
But is it a problem that you're working towards improving the guns when you've got this guaranteed improvement? It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna re-roll this Riven for a chance to actually get a decent stat on. You are re-rolling the guns to make them better, guaranteed.
Well, I probably should have phrased it better. I don't think it's a problem when you look at the mods and guns on their own, but like in relation to melee weapons, where there are melee weapons like the Guandao Prime, I think can run a full endgame build with 0 forma. You just throw a tater on it and it's done. Whereas with a gun, if you have like a Riven and Prime mod, it's going to be easily like 6, 7 forma sometimes.
Yeah. So it's not isolation, it's comparison, right? So it's not. Yeah. Okay. No, I can understand and appreciate that.
And also, I don't think it's a bad thing. I would like to have a way to invest into my weapons with forma and other stuff to make them better. It's just that it would have to be better, like this across the board, not just with a certain type of gun, to make it at least as good as a melee weapon that doesn't need any of it.
Could you elaborate? Because
I'm
sounds
really bad at explaining.
Well, from what I understood just then, it sounded like you're saying all guns should be comparable with each other.
No, for me, I would like to have a way, for example, with these new mods, we will have to invest more into them to make them better. And that will feel good because you invest time, you invest forma and resources, and you make them better.
Yeah.
But, when you have to do that with guns, but you don't have to do it with melee weapons, it kind of feels bad. The only thing that makes that process on the primaries feel bad is that you don't have to do it on melee weapons.
Oh, so it's the disparity between the two experiences, what you're saying.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the right way to say it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a difficult situation because either you can take away the need for having to do it on guns, or you can enforce it being on melee weapons. I think that's a lose-lose situation.
Well, actually, if I may jump in, I'm interrupting all over the place.
No,
today.
no, no,
I'm very
please,
sorry.
please, please.
One of the comments on one of my videos actually had a cool idea. The reason why you don't have to do it on melee weapons is because of stances, right? They get a ton of free capacity from stances, just like Warframes get a ton of free capacity from auras.
Yes.
So what if we had, the person asked, like, what if we had weapon disciplines that would function like stances on melee weapons, but we had them for guns? You would put a discipline on, which would change the way you handle the weapon in small ways, but it would give you some capacity so that you don't have to put like 7 form on a weapon to run a full build.
I'm fine with this because it's something you have to work towards getting. So, you don't just have stances. As long as I will say the gun discipline is not, oh, you got to buy it from a shop. Can we just have stuff dropped from the game again? Right? I mean, is that such a problem? Anyway.
Yes.
But quite you. But no, I'm fine with that sort of thing. Like the thing that I've always wanted is, could we have different types of firing mechanisms for guns? Like, could we actually turn a Latron into a burst fire gun? Right? Could we turn a Soma into a burst fire gun? Could we make it so that the Tigris has buckshot or has slugs, or it's like, I really feel that could actually have a huge impact, and again, that could contribute to the capacity thing.
Yeah, that could be that. You put on the buckshot stance, and it gives you a little bit of extra capacity. Yeah. I would like that actually very much.
Yeah. Cool. Right. So, other bits of news. There's what was the name of the I can't remember, the Prime Access, the Amazon Prime
Twitch,
yeah,
Premium.
Cyan Dana thing, premium shenanigans. That came out earlier in the week.
Indeed.
I think there was a weapon skin with it as well, or was it just the Cyan Dana? Not entirely sure. What other? I think that's all the things I've got. I'm looking at this list of can't talk about that, can't talk about that, can't talk about that. I'm like, oh, thought I could talk about some of this stuff. Apparently not. But yeah, so that's the main thing. Cool. Right. Should we move on to the topics? Do we have anything we want to follow up with? Loz is silent, so
No, good. I'm good. Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So.
Yes, we've had a meaty talk, and we haven't even started on the meaty talks. Let's start the meaty talks.
Right. So first meaty talk. With the upcoming Arsenal revisit, isn't it about time to have a look at exalted weapons as well? And topic 2 is, we already have Pax Arcanes that can apply to both primary and secondary kick guns. There's no good reason for there to be 2 identical sets of new arcanes for primary and secondary guns. Cool. Right. So let's go back to the first topic. So from Reddit, why are exalted weapons so bad? Their stances are essentially non-existent or just bad at best. Sevagoth is the only real exception, being very recent and having forced /proc on heavy attacks, not being able to use any systematic or acolyte mods severely limits the potential of exalted weapons. Exalted weapons weren't given buffs, especially around their status charts, apart from Wukong's Iron Staff, which has its own issues. The only reason why some of them, like Baruch's Serene Storm, is that Serene? Is that how you spell Serene?
Yeah, you're good.
That's okay. Serene Storm can work is because DE introduced Band-Aid mods instead of looking at the larger issue overall.
Are they really that bad?
Exalted weapons?
I didn't think they were. You haven't got
think
to E
they're
yet.
pretty good.
Damn it. We'd know everything if you'd reached E.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Like the stances, the movesets are still pretty solid. Some of them are a bit janky, but I think it's pretty good.
Which ones are particularly janky?
One of the Excalibur combos feels a bit off
Yeah.
Yeah.
on Exalted Blade, and I think one of the Hysteria combos feels pretty awkward as well.
Right. Because my understanding of Exalted Weapons was that Korra's whip and Baruch's slappy slap were like OP as hell because they took from the melee weapon mods that you had equipped. Am I right in understanding
Yeah,
this?
there are few of them. Baruch doesn't, I think. Baruch just has a normal build for it, doesn't it? It's a full-on Exalted weapon. Korra's whip isn't. That just uses a stat stick.
Yeah, I think... Was it Atlas takes some of his stuff from the weapon? I
Does
haven't
it?
bought anymore.
Oh, it's Google time, folks.
Let's get the wiki. It's tricky to know, but also I noticed that they're mainly focused. I haven't got a full list of exalted weapons in front of me, but I do notice that there's two of the ones they seem to be focusing on there seems to be the melee ones. I mean, off the top of my head, I never remember everything.
There aren't that many.
I think of two.
That many. I can think of Mesa. What other range?
Mesa is exalted weapon.
Yeah, her fucking pistol.
Peacemakers.
Yeah, regular. Yeah.
Avara.
Oh yeah, the bow.
Hildren.
I don't know what Hildren has.
The pistol wrist thing.
I thought that was just an ability.
I don't know. It's a weapon. No, it's a weapon. It's a balefire. It's a balefire. It's a weapon. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I still own the conspiracy theory, in my opinion, that Hildren was meant to have the bloody arc gun as her exalted weapon, and then they were like, "Oh no, let's just make that a weapon. What should we give her? Oh, we'll give her a little arm cannon-y thing." It's like clearly it was meant to be it was clearly meant to be that.
The Larkspur.
Yeah. That's what it was meant. It was meant to be that, and there's some reason why they decided against it, because the bloody balefire is just like Hildren is awesome, and it's like boop, boop, boop. I'm not saying about the damage. I meant the aesthetic of it. It's like it's just a little wrist thing.
She's a big beefy broad.
Yeah, and he's a big gun. I don't know.
So, according to the wiki, the warframes with exalted weapons.
Oh, hey, here we go.
Baruch, Excalibur, Hildren, Ivara, Mesa, Sevagoth, Titania, Valkyr, and Wukong.
So what about Gara's claws?
Do you mean Garuda?
Yes.
Built-in subsidiary weapons is Garuda's claws. But for some strange reason, they're not listed with the exalt. I think it's because you can't just equip them. You have to not equip a secondary.
Oh, because you don't. Oh, so they're calling that because of the fact you don't get them in addition, right?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But I think the only one that we haven't even talked about was actually Titania.
Yes.
With her Dex Pixia and...
Yes.
Duata.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dexpixia are strong as hell too. So I don't... What are you talking about, Reddit?
Oh, wow. I love that.
Wait, did you say Valkyr?
Yeah.
Oh, you did say Valkyr. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I sorry, I missed that. Okay, cool. I was like, wasn't Valkyr on that list?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Her talons and things. I don't know. Like, it just feels like... Of all the problems that Warframe has, is this really one that we want to put time and effort into? Is this one that we really... Is it that big a deal?
Well, they make a good point about the fact that you have some mods you're not allowed to use on the exalted weapons, especially the melee ones, which I would think that those decisions were made in the moment. Do those decisions still hold water today is another question. surely something that could be reassessed and maybe might need to be undone as a change, because with all the other changes and the damage creep and all the new mods coming in, do those really hold back? Would those really cause a massive buff on the exalted weapons if they were released today? And I don't know if they would. So that's something. And this is the only way to maybe get the attention put on them. That's the only thing I can think of.
Maybe after the balance changes, like they're nerfing Blood Rush and Condi Overload and all that, maybe it wouldn't be as bad. Like I can imagine Blood Rush being nuts on some of them, because they do have pretty strong stats, the exalted weapons. They have pretty strong base stats. They're like good with normal mods, so imagine them with like Blood Rush and crit stacking and all that. But after the nerfs, maybe they will allow it.
I think it's entirely dependent on whether or not the community kicks off enough and what the performance are of these weapons, in mission and things. I mean, I don't particularly... Loz, how much do you use Exalted Blade when you're doing your Excalibur stuff?
Not all the time, but I do have builds for it, and I do use it now and then. But I don't start with it or focus on it or make it my mainstay. I still go around with my guns. I always have. This whole melee meta, I'm like, but I have a gun.
Yeah.
This whole melee meta, I'm like, my guns. What about my precious, precious guns? Yeah. Occasionally I get bored and just go, let's give an Exalted Blade a go. It's nice. You can make good builds around it, but seeing as some of the Acolyte mods are being nerfed anyway, I think that's the issue, rather than some of the massive changes they're saying.
Acolyte mods are being nerfed?
Well, Blood Rush, that's an Acolyte mod, isn't it? I'm forgetting it. Isn't it? Wasn't it? I thought it was.
It might be. I can't remember what...
Too
is there
much knowledge.
It started out as an Acolyte mod.
Yes, good.
And
I'm
then
not insane.
it moved to Lua Spy. I am going to say. I'm not sure.
So let's have a quick look at the Acolyte mods for Melee. Yes, sorry, Blood Rush is an Acolyte mod. Sorry, it feels so long since we got them. I couldn't remember. Blood Rush body count, focus, defense, maiming strike, and weeping wounds.
Oh, yeah. Maiming strike.
Yeah, a great example of something that's changed since, It's tricky. To be honest, though, I think the best way about going about this, rather than saying now, is wait till the patch hits when we finally see what's being released. Then go do some damage numbers and do some examples where it is now inferior to other weapons, and you have a good case to put forward to DE. Whereas whinging about it now, probably not as easy to get your message across.
Here's a question I have for you. Should exalted weapons be better than the melee counterparts, or should they be on par? They're definitely no for should they be worse, but
They should be better in some way, but I don't think it necessarily should be damaged. They should have better coverage or some kind of a debuff or something like that. I don't think they necessarily need to do more damage, but they just... I would say in terms of AoE, Exalted Blade has great clear. So that's its thing. It doesn't need to necessarily do more damage than melee weapons because it has great clear. So in that kind of way, I think they should be better.
I think they should be better, or in certain ways, but they should be quite limited, expensive to use. So Avara gets a bow out and can fire a few shots of absolute death, but you can only fire a few shots. It shouldn't be, I get the exalted weapon out, and I just keep going and going and going and going. And I keep going and going and going. I think it should be you pull it out, you do a few things, run out, or it's a cooldown, or something like that. But in that small period, you are God,
Yeah. So you burn through your energy quite quickly.
Oh, yeah, or give them energy, and then give them a fixed time with a cooldown, maybe. Lavos opened the chance to cooldowns in a game.
Boo. Sorry.
Well, for me, I think the ideal case scenario is that you'd be able to mod for both. So you can either have it out a lot, and it's not super strong, but it's good, or you can have it out for a short period of time, and it's super strong. And if they were to do that, I guess they would have to do it Ivara style, so that it drains energy. And depending on how much energy it drains, it does an X amount of damage. So if you drain like half your energy bar, it's gonna nuke half the tile set.
I like that. I think you can do it through an augment. I like augments.
Preferably Exilus augments the E. Wink, wink.
Yes. Yeah, we had that a few weeks ago. Yes, about should all augments be on Exilus slots? I think they should.
You think they should?
Yep.
Right. Okay. Should we go to the replies? I mean, I don't know if there's much more to add to this.
Wait. Did you list Wukong's iron staff?
Yes.
I meant in the list the wiki said.
Yes, I also read it out in the topic.
I know you read it on the topic, but I can't remember that being in the list of the wiki. But right, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So I'm just curious because I have used Exalted. Let's just quickly go around. So I've used Exalted Blade a lot. I've used Hildren's Balefire and Ivara's Bow, but I haven't used some of the others. Which Exalted weapons do you guys have you used? Even a small amount of, really. Like, I have barely played Titania. I don't know why. I think I really should like Titania more. I just never really find the time to it. And like Baruch, meh, Valkyr, meh, just not my playstyle. So I'm just curious, which do you like and make use of?
I'll go. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go. I was going to say I was going to go second.
Well, I've used a lot of Excalibur in the beginning, but I've mostly used Wukong's Iron Staff because it's just funny. It's a thick stick to jump around in it. It's ridiculous.
Nice.
And the one I think I've used the most is going to be Dex Pixia from Titania. Because here's why. When Eidolons first came out, that thing was the most insane thing you could use. Because if you were in flight mode with Titania, the Eidolon couldn't hit you at all. Nothing would hit you. They nerfed it later, but you were essentially invincible. So you would just use it to nuke the Eidolon. And since you could fly, you could easily position yourself around the joints and then around its head at the end. So I think that's the one that I've actually used the most of all of them.
Yeah, Xeno?
I think I used Excalibur for a bit years ago. Honestly, like I don't use these exalted weapons. I mean, Ivara, I use
anything other than Oberon these days.
No. Like Nezha, what's it called? Nova,
Oberon,
Necros,
Oberon.
No, you're not wrong. I'm not going to deny that. I don't play a lot of Oberon, but honestly, like I don't like how. I'm not trying to throw my toys out the pram. I don't like how weird the animations are in melee, right? I don't like that I'm swinging, I'm doing damage above my head, but it looks like I've just done a horizontal slash, right? It doesn't feel that, I don't know where I'm hitting, and it confuses me I'm very easily confused here, right? I'm weak monkey brain. I don't get it.
Is this a complaint in melee in general?
Yes, yeah. But so as a result, it kind of pushes me away. And I'm not one for running up and doing high levels of DPS. I'm much more interested in like CC and survivability. Like, I know I've done some Mesa with her regulators. I only know they're called regulators because I got it in front of me right now. You know, I've done some Valkyr with Hysteria, but I've played quite a bit of Ivara, but I never use her Artemis bow.
Oh, really?
I never use it. Yeah. Oh, I got a gun. Gun go bang. They go dead. Right? Sorry, like, I need to make so, like, I terminal velocity for projectile-based weapons. Oh, sorry, I could use a bow, or I could fire my grenade faster and it explodes really well.
I thought you were going to come up with like, oh no, but I just run around being stealthy on Avara and just like backstabbing everyone. I never need to shoot at all. No, it's like, no, I've got a gun.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a bit of a plot twist.
Whoa. Sorry. Do you think I use Avara for stealth missions? Because like, you've got another thing coming. I take Nova for stealth missions.
Nova?
Yeah.
So
if the enemy's too slow to press the button, right, then I got no problem with them pressing the button.
I actually use a similar tactic. If the enemy is too dead to press the button, they're not gonna press it.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
None of this stealth fuck.
In a
right?
nuke fight, if you disable his hand, he can push a button.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's like playing slaps, with nuclear warheads.
Oh dear. So what? Wait. So what? Why do you use Avara at all? What ability are you gaining from it?
Oh no, I do like things like so I use her primarily for Rivens, where you've got stealth kill the enemies, doing things like there was one which is you got to do 5 minutes in a survival without killing anything. So I do the pickpocket on her as well. I don't use her for stealth missions, but I use her stealthily for other things that you can't get around not doing.
This is a thing that can put tripwires anywhere, can knock mobs to sleep, has a bow that can shoot multiple things at once, and he uses it to
I have a gun.
complete Riven.
This is why I wanted to. Oh, and also play Limo a lot. This is why I wanted to do stuff in Steel Path. This is why I'm so pissed.
Still got the arcanes. We still got the arcanes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
You're breathing, come on, arcanes. I know, yeah. I'm with you, but arcanes. Just think arcanes.
Like, when Hildren came out, I still don't know how to play her, because she came out on the second planet in the Origin system, where the enemies are like chump change, right? They are so easy to kill. I didn't have a reason for her to go into her Apache attack helicopter mode, because it was so slow. Now I'll just use my gun. What? Tell me I'm wrong.
Let's move on to the replies.
Because you can't tell me I'm wrong. I'm
okay,
not wrong.
First reply. Exalted weapons shouldn't be worse than normal melees. Again, see, it's very melee focused. There are other exalted weapons, but okay, we'll focus on melees. Exalted weapons shouldn't be worse than normal melees. If you don't want players to just run around 24/7 with exalted weapons, then just make the energy consumption higher the longer it lasts.
I'm not opposed to that. Like, I also feel like just make it higher in general. Make the output of the but the problem then is the energy economy is just shot, because even if you don't have pizzas, you have things like Trinity with God, Energy Vampire, is that what it's called? Yeah. Then there's easy ways to get energy back. Hell, you've also got Rage, Hunter Adrenaline. This is my ball game. The CC shit, that's where I live.
Well, you would have to Baruch it up. You would have to do it the same way as Baruch. You have a separate resource that you build, and then you spend it with the exalted weapon.
Oh, right. Yeah. I'm not opposed to that. I mean, that happened in World of Warcraft. Loads of classes end up getting a secondary resource to do their different abilities and things. I think that's perfectly viable. And I would also say you shouldn't be able to build up that resource any other way than just attacking stuff. Like, there should never be a drop for that resource. There should never be a pad for that resource. I think that is like the cleanest way to do it. Thoughts?
Mm-hmm.
I think Loz has had a stroke. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm looking at the original topic.
Okay.
Yeah, the way it works with Baruch is it's baked into his abilities, right? So if you put people to sleep with LOL, it gives you a little bit of that resource and that kind of stuff. So you could do it based on attacking, but I think it works best with Baruch. I really like the way Baruch builds and spends his thing, whatever it is called. I forgot.
Actually, one thing that I'm surprised that isn't in there, maybe you can't spec it at all, or maybe because it doesn't do damage, it's not considered it, is Nidus's lava. Tumbleweed.
What, you want to mod them?
Well, no, I mean, like, it's not considered like a exalted weapon in any capacity whatsoever. So you build up a resource just like Baruch's Slappy Slap, you know, and I believe the lava does damage.
A bit, yeah, I guess. But then so does abilities. Like, you could say that, like, Banshee's Soundquake does damage. The sound itself doesn't need to be modded uniquely.
No, but it's not an actual thing that engages.
How cool would that be, though? Assigning a song to the Quake.
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, actually. Yeah. Give her the Octavia
It would
treatment.
just be memes. Let's be honest. It would just be memes.
Yeah.
But just one point in the original topic I've got here, by the way, is that, so expanding on the point, because obviously we read the shortened version, it actually says here that exalted weapons weren't buffed during Melee 3.0, leaving them with awful stats that severely limit them. And then, as it says in the shortened version, specifically the status chance. Would you say they have awful stats, exalted weapons?
No.
Oh, it's not awful.
Status is a bit low, but
yeah.
And we have a bunch of mods that makes it really good, like the one for, what is it, Chromatic Blade for Excalibur?
Yeah, yeah.
It just like supercharges it and makes it really good. I don't think they have awful stats.
No,
they have decent stats. I would have to go over them again. Maybe I'm just talking out of my arse here, but I don't think they have awful stats.
Well, I mean, what, 100 episodes and then you'll be in the E weapons?
Yes.
So, the war on the enemy faction in the Origin system has been going on for 8 years. Did they actually react to the frames emerging? Where am I on the right topic here? Yeah, apparently I am. Where are the countermeasures, tactics, or strategies meant to take them into account? Even if the Grineer are that dumb, some of them should have devious or malicious. Should it be devious or malicious to make up for that?
I'm confused by this statement.
I feel this is from a completely different topic. Moving on, let's just do the next one. Okay, so I don't know. Valkyr's claws. Oh, sorry.
Now, you know, the only course of action for them as reacting to us is just going away. We've killed millions of them. They can't do anything. All they can do is leave, just go away, find another solar system and be there and be happy and hope that we don't go there. That's the only thing they can do. They can't do anything. We're just too bloodthirsty.
Well, that's the point. It's supposed to be that even though we've killed, I don't know, probably 14 billion Grineer at this point, that's only supposed to be a drop in the bucket, is the supposed story we're supposed to be, that it doesn't matter how many mowers we kill, they'll produce more. It doesn't matter how many Grineer Lancers we kill. In fact, everyone we kill is then fodder to make 4 or 5 more. So that even though we've killed 17 billion, there's in fact trillions of Grineer, so that though we win every time and we never seem to lose, we're just literally pin pricking an elephant. Is this, you know, obviously we win important battles, but they're not. We should never decisively win. Was the premise? But I'm with you now. It does feel like they might have said, just you guys just leave the solar system. You're never going to win. We need a loss. But yeah, but I don't know where that comment came from. You found it yet, Xeno?
Oh, sorry. No.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were doing. Anyway, let's move on to the next comment, which should be on point. I don't know. Valkyr's claws seem to shred absolutely anything my buddy comes into contact with. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And the last one we got here is, to say they're useless would be wrong. Maybe Iron Staff doesn't do much damage per individual hit, but it doesn't rely on combo counter. And also is the largest melee weapon, even if it's not by much. People also tend to not realise it's got full heavy attack follow-through, and is, to my knowledge, the only weapon with it. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, it's a thick stick. Thick stick.
It is a very thick stick.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. Maybe it's just an argument that, you know, the exalted weapons aren't the best melee weapons, but I don't think they need to be the best melee weapons. They just need to be good melee weapons.
Definitely.
Yeah, because they also they're not just measured against melee weapons. They also have to be measured against other abilities.
Yeah.
Right? If you just make them the best melee weapons, then they're going to be the best ability as well, and they're already pretty good as an ability.
I think that's fair.
Cool. I
Yeah.
think
So
I think we
let's
might
round
be
this up though. Right. Do we think they could do with adjusting or buffing them in niche bits like say status or let's say mods? Do you think that they could do with a little bit of improvement? Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
They could give them some fun mods, some
Yeah.
unique niche mods that just do weird things.
Aren't these these are just the augment mods?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
what he's suggesting. Like
pretty
the
much.
Chromatic Blade is a really
Yeah,
good
yeah.
one. It really makes it really interesting for Exalted Blade for Excalibur. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I suppose some more augments for them. Yeah.
I wouldn't want them to be augments for the frame though. I would like them to be special mods you can put on the weapon so that you don't have to clutter your frame.
That's kind of fair. That's kind of fair. Yeah,
Does that make them that I feel would make it really difficult, because then the concern is if maybe they should just be a separate subset of exalted weapon mods, because my problem with them being augment mods that you could put on the weapon itself is that you've just offloaded a load of mods from one area of the game to another, potentially increasing the performance of the warframe as opposed to the weapon, as opposed to at a cost. So maybe the simplest solution is just exalted weapon mods. The end. Go away.
But I see what you're trying to say there. You're trying to say because you're not putting it, it's not competing with the Warframe slots. It's maybe a boon, but the weapon is so dependent on its own mods that losing a slot there is almost as bad as losing it on the Warframe.
Yeah, potentially. I think maybe if they were just exalted weapon mods, let's just let's not try to make this more confusing than it needs to be.
No, that's fine. I think
we could be galvanized mods.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
That'd be good. Yeah.
Galvanized exalted mods.
Yeah.
It's just a thing like the original thing, but it has a cool thing on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool thing on top.
So I think we agree there might be some little changes are needed, but I don't think the person selling it like these things are the worst things ever, and I don't think they're quite that bad. But a nice looking might be nice. But let's close it at that.
Clearly, the mod for Avara is oh god, what's that? Damn it! I was really hoping I could remember it's the arrow mod that explodes when
Thunderbolt.
Thank you. Yes. I kept on thinking Thunderstorm. Anyway, yeah. So you've got Exalted Thunderbolt, and then basically it just explodes into more arrows.
Yes, I want that. I wanted with split flights.
Which one's split flight?
The one that gives you 400% multi-shot, but minus 400% accuracy.
Oh dear God!
That one actually has a really cool interaction with. It works with the Cernos Prime, and I think it works. If you can put it on the Artemis bow, it should work the same way. The negative accuracy is so bad, it reverses the orientation of the arrows instead of scattering them. So if you're firing horizontally and you hit the minus 400% accuracy or whatever it is, you don't just split the arrows all over the place. You instead fire them vertically now. So it does nothing, actually. It just gives you a ton of arrows.
So you fire a wall of arrows.
Yes, you basically have a shotgun without fall off.
Oh, sounds awesome. I can just imagine actually they got negative 400% accuracy. You do I can't remember what her third ability is, where you actually take control of the Artemis arrow. And the arrow is just going all over the place. Yeah, no matter what you try to do to control it, it's just going anywhere it wants. It's what's a straight line? I don't know what that is. Right. Okay, sorry, randomness aside. Should we go on to the second topic?
Topic 2.
Oh, I think that says 106. Right. Cool.
Yes.
Right. So,
Mm.
topic 2. What?
This topic.
Okay. Right. We already have packs arcanes that can apply to both primary and secondary kit guns. There is no good reason for there to be two identical sets of new arcanes for primary and secondary guns. Did I just read out a chunk of that in the title itself? We already have the yeah. On top of there being 3 duplicate sets of new arcanes, there will be 9 galvanized mods for each gun that we want to use an arcane on. Will require 15 steel essence each to unlock. This update is less about fixing guns and more about adding more grind. While this is supposed to make the Steel Path viable, these are only acquired in Steel Path by the time I finish farming them. I won't even need them. I'm fucking... So I'm going to use my words.
Did you...
I'm going to use my words.
I think he's exploded with anger.
I'm fucking just... yeah, exactly. And
right,
took his table with him.
So we had the conversation earlier at the start of the video where, you know, MC, you were saying that you liked the idea of the galvanized mods being on arbitrations, right?
Yes.
And I feel that there is some value in having the mods exist in Steel Path. No, I don't think they should exist in Teshin's secret shop of horrors. I think they should just drop from enemies in Steel Path, right?
Well,
Much like the days of World of Warcraft, when you did a raid, you got better raid gear for doing that raid content until the next raid content came out. I feel this is a similar situation. You go do Steel Path, you get rewarded for doing Steel Path to allow you to do Steel Path easier, right?
Yeah, I see the benefit of that. I'm not saying that you're wrong for wanting them there. I definitely see how that's a good thing. I mean, I've played WoW for many, many years, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just have to be it could drop from acolytes. It could be baked into acolytes, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say the acolytes either have like a small chance to drop the mod, or every so often a big beefy acolyte can show up, and if you can kill it, you get the mod.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. And likewise, I do not disagree with your desire to have these galvanized mods in arbitrations, right? But the thing that I dislike is the comment of this update is less about fixing guns and more about adding more grind, right? What the fuck do you think Warframe is?
Yeah, can I expand on that for you?
I've said that so many times.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Finally, someone else feels the same way.
So
it's all...
Obviously,
go,
we thank Tobiah for having us the shrunk down version so we can explain it. But I've got the actual topic open, so I'll just read a few bits about what are they complaining about the farm. Let's have a look. So this is the fact that it just starts with, this is such a blatant grind increase. The 2 new sets of arcanes, primary and secondary, Merciless, Deadhead, Dexterity, are literally identical. There's no good reason for them to be 2 separate sets of arcane. Depending on whether these arcanes max out at rank 3 or 5, that's an extra 30 or 63 arcanes that you'll need to farm just to use the same arcanes on a different weapon type. Now also, add on to the fact you'll have to farm out an arcane unlocker for every single gun that you want to use these arcanes on, which cost 15 steel essence each. Oh, and don't forget, there's also 9 galvanized mods, it's in quotes, getting introduced, each of which have 10 ranks. Although these mods have a silver-looking border, so do amalgam mods, which cost as much as rare gold mods to upgrade. So assuming these mods cost as much as rare mods, that's 270,000 endo and 13.5 million credits to max them all out. These new mods also cost 14 capacity each, meaning you'll definitely need to invest more forma into any weapon that you want to use these mods on. Put this all together and it's clear that this update is much less about fixing guns and more about adding more grind to the game. It's even more hilarious because these changes were supposed to make Gun's Steel Path viable, but all of these things are acquired in the Steel Path. If I can already clear Steel Path, then I don't really need these mod/arcanes, and by the time I do finish grinding them, I'll probably have cleared all of Steel Path again. Overall, this continues a very disappointing trend of band-aid fixing things while adding disgusting amounts of grind just to access those fixes. There we go.
Out of interest, like when you were exaggerating specific words, were they capitalized or were they italics? I mean,
most of those were either bolded, italicized, or capital, apart from the last one where it says like the disgusting. I added that one in. I think the rest of them all were.
Yeah, it sounded bold.
Oh, the disappointing and disgusting at the end, I added those ones in for the fun, but all the other ones were either like in the Steel Path was caps, you know, the 2070k endo and 30 minutes that was bolded, 15 steel essences bolded, the extra 30 or 63 arcanes, that was bolded, you know. So yeah, there we go. Now we understand. There's grind. Welcome to Warframe. It's a free-to-play game. I'm sorry. You can trade 270,000 endo. Oh, that's nice. I'll probably just trade for it. Buy some Iotans, man. Deuce.
just on the off chance, because I don't know, right? MC, have you done raiding in Destiny 2?
I have not. I've also have not done any raids in Warframe. I was never interested in it.
Okay, so the reason why I was asking was I'd assume it would follow the same system as WoW, where it drops gear that makes doing the raid easier, sort of thing. I honestly I don't know where the sentiment is that, you know, like, I just want my cake. I don't want to, you know. No. I want you to throw the ball. I don't want you to take it. I just want you to throw the ball, right? So it's easier to associate to that meme. I don't know why people think that they were going to get this stuff for free without putting any effort in.
Like, I don't know. It feels like it's just, I think it's a new generation of gamers, right? Because back in my day, we sat in tubes in Void and we spammed Vowbound's Vortex, and one person was there just pressing 3 on Necros to desecrate. Yeah. And we did that for like 3 hours. And that was the thing. We were on TeamSpeak and we were just, you know, chatting. And that was the game. Like, that was the game. That was you were pressing one button, hiding from everything because it would one-shot you, and he would have one Loki just in case your life support ran low, so that he would like run a Hail Mary to press a life support button. That was it. Yeah. And it was fun. It's just there is so much more stuff to do in the game now compared to that. It's crazy. And grind, I don't know where I heard it, but it was in relation to some other game, but it basically said that grind is not a thing. Grind is a state of mind. When you're doing something, it's not a grind until you get tired of it. As soon as you get tired of it, it becomes a grind. But nothing in itself is a grind.
And then it begs the question, if you're tired of doing it, why are you doing it at all? Right? Because if you're not having fun playing the game, why are you fucking playing it?
I think that's the problem with the way games are made nowadays.
Yeah.
Older games, you would play them until you were done. Nowadays, games are designed so that you play them until you hate them.
I'm only laughing because that's so true.
It is. No.
It's games as a service, and a service is something which you want to always be able to provide, so it just goes on and on and on. It doesn't have an end point, so to speak. Yeah.
No, I think that's an excellent way of putting it, because look at games like Marvel Avengers, how much of a train wreck that was, because they were so focused on
The service rather
making
than
it
the
a
game,
game as a service, and the service wasn't good enough to be a service. So instantly it fell completely flat on its face. Warframe has done exceptionally well for itself. It's grown in things. And yeah, I mean, Destiny 2, I'd argue, from my point of view, you know, some people may enjoy it. I definitely don't. Therefore, I don't play it. Right? So, you know, World of Warcraft, that's unfortunately fallen into the same territory. It's turned into such a horrible, nasty grind for the most basic of shit. Yeah, I won't do it. So but tell you, there is this thing where gamers will just constantly play something they don't even like, and I don't get that.
I would say there is an extreme that could be added to it. I mean, I do agree with the principle we're looking at here, but let's say the game charged you 15 trillion credits to do something. I mean, you could just, you know, to do anything in the game, and so you needed to keep farming. That's the extreme example, of course, but I think the core of what it's saying is right. Yeah. Because my point is, I wouldn't, because I worry that our line of logic we're flowing here means that any complaint about doing something for too long is we're saying that it's all not void, that you can't complain about anything about length of time, because if you complain at all, then you're not enjoying it and stop playing it. You know, even though some people are like, maybe that requires a few too many. I mean, it's okay, but you know.
Oh, it's. I think this goes back to what MC was saying, is whether or not you feel like what you're doing is a chore. Again, this is why I've, you know, slowed down massively on playing Dauntless, because I played it a hell of a lot more than you did in a very short period of time, but I very quickly noticed that, oh God, I'm going far too fast, and this is suddenly turning into an undesirable grind. I need to slow the hell down, right? So yeah, I mean, but Warframe, I don't feel that as much, mostly because the gameplay loop to me is just so much more entertaining. You know, the whole bullet jumping.
I mean, I don't think Warframe's too much, but let's say, for instance, if Warframe, you know, the thing is, Warframe lets you get access to everything and then gives you the grind. But when grinding, I think, is not okay. When they add a grind that's not okay, is when they say, oh, to access Railjack, you have to grind 1 million gallium or something stupid. You know, it's like, well, we're not even going to let you into Railjack until you've done that. It's like, well, I want the Railjack content is the content I want to play. I really want it. It's really cool. I've played it on a friend's account or something. But I know that's fun, but I'm being blocked from that fun by a wall. Actually, I'll give you one. And did either of you two play Anthem? You didn't, did you?
No.
Right.
I did right. Until that stupid question. Well, it wasn't a question. It was like a list of achievements that you had to do.
Yes.
I was like, what is this? I'm not doing this. Goodbye.
Exactly. And that is a grind that is not, exactly. It's not fun. But exactly, you stop playing. But literally, you're getting through the story. And then towards like 3/4 of the way through the story, it's like, we need to open this ancient super secret vault of like one of the first people who defeated the bad dudes with his flight suit, so we can get his flight suit or something. How do we get in? And you talk to the door and it's like, go do this 1 billion times, go do this 1 billion times, go do this 20 times, go do this 5 times. Until you've done these things, you won't open. You're like, what? What is this?
It was like, revive 15 people. What, yes. To open a door?
Yeah, yes, it was. It was around, so you had to revive people. You could do it on the NPCs if you found them, but then there was just basically everyone staring at these NPCs in a camp, waiting for the enemies to kill them, so people would rush in and res them. It was hilarious.
I was also so dumb they would never hit each other.
Yeah.
Right. So you'd be standing there with three other people just circling these poor NPCs like vultures, waiting for them to die.
Just you could swoop in and be the one to get a res on them. It's so stupid.
Wow.
So there's an example of a grind. But I suppose that's a different. The actual core of the problem there is a structural thing. But you know, that is a grind which is stupid.
I also want to, like, I mean, I'm not going to go into laborious detail of Xeno and a 7-month flail, but I think one thing to take from that story that everyone knows ad infinitum is that was all I was doing, right? That was all I was.
Yeah,
after.
I assume there was no, even if you achieved that, there was no new content it would open up, and there was no uses really. You just wanted it to enjoy the play with it, which wasn't a massive unlock, and it was just being gated away from you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, it was like, but the point was there was nothing truly left to do.
Yeah.
Aside from get this flare, and likewise with Dauntless, I mean, I have to reset my weapon skill before I can level it. I can't say, oh, I've got my level 20 armor and that can push me through to higher level content. No, I have to start from the beginning again in order to do the same thing again and again and again. And that is a huge contributor to grind. I really don't feel like, maybe this is my, I don't know, check my privilege, but I really feel the whole perspective of Warframe isn't, it's not tedious. Yes, it's repetitive. Yes, you're farming shit constantly.
Yeah.
Right? But I just feel like it's so much more enjoyable to do.
Well, no, but when it does the reset, which is very similar for a bit who's not played Dauntless, it's very similar to when you form a weapon in Warframe. It doesn't go, right, now you have to go play through all of Earth one node at a time. Like, no, you can keep going on the solar system. I know your gun might do a little bit less damage, but hey, give it a go. It doesn't go, no, back to Earth with you.
Yeah, which Dauntless does do.
Yeah.
It just feels like a waste of time, doesn't it?
Yeah. But
yeah,
I don't feel that with Warframe, especially when they add new stuff.
It's just such a nice set of things you can do in Warframe, right? The movement, combat, the variety of weapons, the variety of frames, the variety of tile sets, the planets. That there's so much you can pick and choose. It just doesn't get old.
Yeah. Especially the procedurally generated environments.
Yes, and that's coming from someone that's been playing Warframe for, let me actually open Steam, like close to 4,700 hours at the moment. And I'm still not tired of it. I still want to jump in and just go do like survival in the void and just run around for 20 minutes slashing things with a weapon.
Yeah. I mean,
right. Now that we've discussed grind, let's get on to the actual topic at hand. Because we actually haven't. I just like, this is really interesting, this talk we're doing. We're all like, yeah. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah. PAX Arcanes. So obviously we've identified the issue the person has with this update is the grind. And I think we're all come to a good place on that. So let's move on to the key point here is though that they're saying that the new Arcanes coming in now, you have to get a pistol version or a secondary version and also a primary version, which you're going to have to acquire separately. They're saying there should just be one Arcane that you can use on both, because obviously the kit guns, you can do that for the kit guns. Now, my issue with this, I'll start on this one. Now, I actually haven't used the kit guns in primary yet. I know they added it. I remember listening to it on their stream. I haven't even looked into it. To me, kit guns are a secondary thing. And obviously they came with Arcanes for secondary. I know later they added a few components that allows you to put one in the primary slot, but to me, they're meant as a secondary weapon. So that's a bit, it's just more like, we let your kit guns have a primary option, so you can put it in that slot, and we're not going to make you do another Arcane, so just use the Arcane, because it's meant to be for a secondary. To take that logic of that system, which was expanded, and then go, oh, we're adding Arcanes to all weapons, and they'll be primary and secondary. What? But my kit gun that got an addition, I didn't have to grind for that. Make it like the kit gun seems... I know I was really condescending towards the original poster, but honestly, that's how it feels. To take that just because that's their proof, their standard, the precedence. So to take that, which was a small addition, oh yes, you can put a kit gun in the primary, we'll make you build your own primary weapons. They go, oh yes, that's it, precedence. You are now never allowed to not let them give us an Arcane that only goes on one on the other. Feels really a bit entitled to me. it was a small addition. DE weren't mean to you then. DE now expanding that system. They back when they did that, they probably never even go, oh yeah, we're going to put arcanes in for primary and secondary. Now they are. They have to think, well, how are we going to do this? So that's a bad precedent. Sorry, there we go. Discuss. Well, I look up these kick guns. I don't even know.
Well, I think it's just, I see it as just a bonus thing with the kit gun. It's just a nice extra benefit of the kit gun. You make a kit gun, you get an arcane. That's how I see it. I don't really have a problem with it. So I do have a question.
Yeah.
If you have a kit gun primary,
Yes.
can you use is it going to be one or the other when it comes to the arcanes? Can you either use the packs?
I imagine
both?
I imagine it'll just be packs. I can't imagine that when the Merciless or Deadhead, I can't remember what the different arcanes are called.
Yeah, Merciless, Deadhead, and Dexterity.
Oh yeah. Was it Dexterous? Something like that. Anyway, but when they come in, I imagine that kit guns will not be able to use them. I imagine that these will be for non-kit gun primaries, non-kit gun secondaries, because the kit gun variations already have their arcanes.
That's a bit of a bummer. Because I mostly just use Pax Charge. Well, mostly. I always use Pax Charge, so I have a battery magazine instead.
Yeah. But what do you want in I thought the point of this post was that there were already kit gun variants of these 3 arcanes that DE were planning on bringing in, or have I missed something here?
No.
Oh, so okay.
So the person's complaining. Okay, so at the moment, they added kit guns in, yeah? Which were secondaries.
Yeah.
They added in kit gun arcanes that went on your secondary kit gun, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? Then at a later date, they gave you components that when you assemble it, your kit gun isn't a secondary, but is a primary option. This is the later date bit, right? And then they just carried over the system. So the arcane, which I had in my secondary, oh, well, it's just one different component to make it a primary. We'll just let you use the arcane. Yeah?
No. This is not what it says. It says we already have Pax arcanes that can apply to both primary and secondary kit guns.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. They're saying that there's no reason why there should be a primary set of these arcanes and a secondary set of these arcanes.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my
for
god!
The kit
sorry,
gun,
I missed.
For the kit gun, I just use one set of arcane because why can't I have it all the time? But my point is, you go through the history of the kit gun. The kit gun came out. It had arcanes. Bam. They probably thought that's it. Job done. Later they went, let's add a thing in so it can also be a primary. And it can just use its arcane. It's already got it because this is already established. We're not going to make you do another set of primary arcanes for your primary kit gun now. And then the new system's coming along where they're actually doing it properly, and they're going to give proper arcanes for all primaries and all secondaries. And then the person's gone, when you did it for kit guns, it was just one mod and I could use it on both. Right? But no, that's not how they intended it. It was an upgrade later that they added the primary kit gun option.
It was the simplest solution. It's just like, you can just use this.
Just use it. We want you to have fun.
Yeah, it is a bit weird that the arcanes, as far as I remember, are exactly the same, right? The new ones, primary and secondary.
I don't think they are.
I think they are.
Okay. Really? I thought they're very different.
Slight I think they're similar, but they're different numbers. I'm trying to find the dev workshop. Dev workshops.
Frame arcanes. Operator arcanes.
Right. So.
Arcanes. Oops.
Nope. This is the follow-up.
Max arcanes.
They're exactly the same. From what I can see.
No, between melee and between primary and secondary.
Oh.
I'm trying to. Oh no, there it is. Right, okay.
Yeah, no, that. Oh yeah, no. Do you mean the new mods for the new ones that are coming in?
Not the mods, the arcanes.
Sorry, the arcanes.
Merciless, Deadhead, and Dexterity arcanes. The primary and secondary versions
do
the exact same thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So why are there two? I kind of get that. Why are there two sets of the exact same arcane except one goes on the primary, one goes on the secondary, and you have to farm both sets.
I don't mind.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with that. I can see them defolding, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, this whole thing would not have been a thing if the numbers were slightly different, I feel.
No, you see,
it's only a problem because they're exactly the same.
Yes, but the thing is, the reason why I think it's better that they make you farm both now is that this is obviously the start of it, and yes, it's a shame they are both the same. Maybe they should have put a little bit of variation. But if they make it that it's one for both now, that means all future arcanes for primary and secondary are going to have to be the same. If they stick to their guns and keep them separate now, then they can later implement unique ones for secondaries and unique ones for primaries, as and when needed, maybe to play with balance.
Yes.
But if they change it now, just because these current ones are the same, it means that in the future, they're all going to have to be the same, which is going to be a problem, I think. Or it will be restrictive.
You are correct.
Also, wouldn't there be... Can you have the same packed arcane in two weapons that you're using at the same time?
Does
that make sense?
Don't know.
I don't
actually.
Know, that's a good question.
So, like, I mean, if you've got, oh my god, I really don't know. I don't think you'd be able to use the same Pax Arcane in two places. And again, I
test
think,
it out.
Are you gonna do it now? Is this a live test? We're doing a live test right now. We still got the Warframe footage. I mean, no one's going to see the...
I'm actually curious. I genuinely don't know. And I want to know. I don't like not knowing things.
Do you want to pause it, Loz, while we find out?
Well, no, actually, before we do it, I'll ask you, just for some fiddly stuff. How many kit guns have you made, Xeno? A catch moon?
All of them. All of them.
Okay, but how many have you used?
I don't think Catchmoon.
It's Catchmoon.
I mean, come on. I mean, this was the problem with the system, is the fact that because there was going to be a what's the name of the damn thing?
Best in slot?
No. What's it called?
You can have both. Or the same on two, yes.
You can put the same one on both, right? Okay. So yeah, I mean that kind of adds credence to why can't you just but God, what were you asking me, Loz? The thing with kit guns is you were always going to have a cookie cutter kit gun, which one of them was always going to be the best out of the lot. It just turned out that the Catchmoon kit gun was also the best secondary, totally, right? So,
yes.
And then when it got rebalanced, and I'm fine with the rebalance, right? My attention gravitated to the new Kuva New Core, because the Kuva New Core was is just completely OP as hell, and I'm actually excited for the change from 5 was it 4 additional things to 2 additional things. So I'm happy to see the change come in, because now it feels like I actually have to aim the...
Good God.
What?
Aiming? No.
Yeah,
you just get the Kuva Brahma and aiming. Don't do that. Don't do aiming, kids.
That's what the Toncore's for. No one can take my Kuva Toncore away from me. Anyway. Yeah, okay, so if you can put the packs arcanes in 2 places at once, then I'm sorry, you don't have a leg to stand on this one. I can't defend it.
I do agree with the whole, like, if we separate them now, we then have the ability to make unique ones for primary and secondary.
Yep.
I do agree with that. I think that is a valid point. It's just that they could have just made these share and then make the rest. It's like,
no.
They,
I mean,
they could do it like that, but it would be like they would have to distinguish them later on, and it would be confusing,
It'd be confusing
for no reason.
yeah. And people would win
not
immediately.
It's better in the long term, but worse in short term, the way
Yes.
they're
Not-
doing it now.
Yeah, not just that, but if you were to do this later, then you'd have this problem occur later. These series of comments occurring later. So it's like, oh wait, why don't these arcanes work on all the weapons? It's it's really hard. I think the easiest thing to do is say, yeah, trust in DE. We get your frustration, but I mean,
I say, to me, it's more DE hold. I think they're more likely to fold than anything. They'll fold on this, and then they'll have a problem down the line. It's like, oh, do you know what would be really good for this event to buff up a little bit?
Right.
A secondary arcane. Oh, we can't do that. Why? Because we've released 7 that are all both. Oh, that'd be confusing. It wouldn't make sense. Everyone would be like, wait, I got this arcane, and I can't see it on my primary. Why is that? And then like, oh, but it's secondary only. It's like, well, that's just stupid. So it's more DE hold. I mean, the community have a fair point, but it's like, but I think MC said it right. It's like, short term, this way is terrible, but better long term, you make it a change. Yes, everyone will shut up short term, but it'll cause problems down the line.
Yeah.
They're basically giving themselves more option in the future for a little bit of a ruckus on the forums now.
If they hold.
If
they can hold.
If they hold.
They fold like a napkin.
Right. Should we go to the replies?
Okay. DE makes problems and then later bandages them. Remember Helmet system and the ridiculous costs? Similar thing is going to happen.
It's ridiculous.
We just said that that's not what they're doing right now. It is the exact opposite. They're avoiding a problem by having a bit of a ruckus now. They did the exact opposite what the comment said.
Yep.
But the thing is, the comment did. So the original post did actually point out like the insane costs of things. Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Is it really insane? Aren't they buffing stuff like the drops and stuff at the same time?
For the Vitus Essence, yes.
They are making Steel Essence alerts easy. Oh, there was a change to those, wasn't there? I swear they mentioned it on the dev stream. Oh.
I thought it was the Vitus Essence.
No. A while back, when originally these things were going to, in the dev stream where they said these things were going to be on Steel Path, I think they did say something about the availability of Steel Essences through the alert. There was I can't remember what it was though. Oh well.
Was it?
I think it was alerts drop more.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
Light spawn faster or something like that.
Yeah.
So there was some change there. Yeah. Right. Next one is Arcane Unlocker is really, really bad idea. It'll make only use top guns problem much worse. Arcane Unlocker.
No, it won't.
What's an unlocker?
Yeah, so it's like the Xless.
Oh, do you have to unlock the slot? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's going to make no fucking difference. Right? Oh, yeah, I could use the MK1 Bratton with this arcane, or, a good gun. Like, no, I'm sorry, this comment is such a non-starter.
Okay.
Right? You're complaining you don't want the unlocker, right? This person is complaining they don't want the unlocker because I'm gonna have to unlock all, only the top weapons are gonna get unlocked. That was never in question.
Wait, even if they did give you the unlocker unlocked all your weapons, you'd be like, well,
I'm still gonna use the top
guns.
Yeah. That's
exactly. You're not going to go, woohoo! I can finally run my MK1 Bratton.
Yeah.
No one's going to say that.
Yeah.
That's just...
Macron, Paris, God, here we go! Right, the next one is, in my opinion, they should have just buffed some gun mods instead of adding the galvanized mods. The galvanized mods will just make guns worse in high-level stuff, like Steel Path, where guns already take longer to kill. But what? The mods will just make guns worse in high-level stuff, like Steel Path, where guns already take longer to kill. So the mods they're adding in to make guns do more damage are actually going to make the guns worse in high-level stuff. Doesn't even make sense.
That's the second part doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. But the first part is that's like you can either go and do stuff if they give you the new galvanized mods, right? You have to go out and get them, and it's stuff for you to do. Or they buff normal mods, and you have nothing to do. So you would rather have nothing to do than something to do? I never understood that kind of thinking. I would rather
really good point,
buff the thing I have rather than go and get a new thing and actually have stuff to do.
Yeah. You're right. If you work really hard to get the mod, you'll then level it up and go, yes, I've maxed out these mods. Let me give them a go. And you'll be like, wow, I feel so much more powerful now. I can kill these mods in 4 seconds rather than 12. It feels great to feel like I've achieved something. Alternative, you download the patch, you log in, and all the guns do more damage. And you're like, oh yeah. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
Okay.
Back it up. Right. I'm looking at galvanized diffusion.
Backing up here. I think I'm going to hit a wall in a minute.
No, stop.
Okay.
Don't hit a wall. Right.
No,
this is the equivalent to
what is that?
barrel diffusion. That's the wall laws.
That's a bike. There's the wall.
Don't. Right. Galvanized diffusion is the equivalent of barrel diffusion. Barrel diffusion goes up to 90% multi-shot, right? Galvanized diffusion is baseline 80% multi-shot, right? With an additional 30% multi-shot, lasts for 20 seconds and stacks 4 times, right? So the only way galvanized diffusion is worse than barrel diffusion is if you actively don't kill anything, right?
Yeah, the galvanized mods are great. They are very strong.
And if you're not killing anything, I think you got another problem, right? Because stuff's going to kill you. But
oh yeah,
I mean,
that's how it is.
I don't know if these people know how to count. You just have to kill one thing, and the mod's better.
But this is the age of the internet. Everything is a big deal. Don't you understand?
It is. It does feel like that. It's just like, oh, change. No.
Change bad. Why change?
Don't like change.
Don't like change. Go back where it was.
Oh my god. Sorry. I feel like such a dumb
change bad.
Right. Do you want to go for the monolith now?
The issue the community wanted looked at was how melee weapons can be steel path viable just because how mods like Blood Rush and Weeping Wounds work with the combo multiplier. By contrast, many primary secondary weapons cannot overcome the raw boost in stats steel path enemies have because of lack of scaling mods. These mods and arcanes are attempting to solve that issue by giving us bigger raw amounts of damage, multi-shot, status on kills. But D does not know where to put them besides steel path, since the Arbitration, Elite Sanctuary Onslaught drop tables are already stuffed with its own loot and arcanes. So it seems like D is putting a potential fix in the wrong place by putting arcanes designed to make Steel Path easier as Steel Path drops.
Right.
Actually,
I like this.
Go ahead.
I like this person. They're level-headed in their thinking, right? They aren't taking the piss like some of the previous comments. And even though I don't agree with taking the mods out of Steel Path and putting them in arbitrations, a lot of other people do agree with the sentiment. This is a really level-headed response, and I actually really like it.
But you don't agree with it?
No, I just don't agree with the whole, like, you know, taking the mods out of Steel Path.
No, this is the arcanes.
What?
This is the arcanes.
Oh no, the Arcane should totally live in Steel Path.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is this post? I think must have been done after the mods have been moved because the mods are gone, but they're saying the Arcanes.
These mods and Arcanes.
It says mods Arcanes, but at the end it says, but it's by putting wrong place by putting Arcanes designed to make Steel Path easier. Steel Path drops.
Yeah. No. These mods and Arcanes are attempted to solve the issue by giving us bigger raw amounts of all the stuff, but D does not know where to put them besides Steel Path, the mods and the Arcanes. Since Arbitrations and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught drop tables are already stuffed with their own loot / Arcanes.
So it seems like DE is putting a potential fix in the wrong place by putting Arcanes designed to make Steel Path easier as Steel Path drops. You are right. Maybe it's hard to say. Maybe they're implying the Arcanes last one. Maybe they just missed the word mods on the last one. Maybe they were meaning both. It's hard to say, but I think they mean the Arcanes.
Well, I would. Okay, so I mean, MC, you're the wizard with the maths. Like,
I am most definitely not.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think you
sorry
ever claimed
to
to be
offend
that.
you. Right? Okay. The point is, you do builds, right? But do Arcanes have that massive a difference or impact in your damage output?
Well, these seem to be decent enough, but I think one thing that people ignore when it comes to Steel Path is ammo. A big problem in Steel Path is that even if your gun has enough damage to do it, you will probably not have enough ammo to do the whole thing.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Also because let's just say, you have a gun that can kill a few enemies, but you run out of ammo. That gun cannot do Steel Path, even though it can kill Steel Path enemies, right?
I'm being cruel here. It is ammo so because literally Loz and I had this conversation yesterday. Is ammo economy an issue in Steel Path when you have ammo conversion mods, you have sentinels that can convert ammo, you
can still use pads just on a cooldown.
Yeah. So I've done a bit of Steel Path. Is it that big an issue with all the different ways of getting ammo back?
Well, if you can't kill the enemies, then you're not going to get any ammo drops, right? And if you can only kill few, the chances of you getting ammo are pretty low. So it makes melee weapons not just easier, it makes them more convenient as well.
True.
So I think it should be looked at as sort of a portion of the reason why melee weapons are more prevalent in there. At least, a small part of that is due to the fact that melee weapons don't need ammo.
Yeah. It almost feels like that if they didn't do the melee buffs they did in the past, now when Steel Path came out, you would probably have a reason to balance your weapons, that you would use your primary and secondary amount of ammo, and then you would use your melee more. It might not be as strong, but at least you would have it permanently available. That's its upside. But the problem was that people did that, but the melee weapons were just too powerful as well. Yeah, that's a shame. Yeah, years ago, I always complained about ammo economy and thought that it needed a better role in the game. Because I remember years ago at the start when we started playing Warframe, I remember one of the first times I tried to solo Captain Vor and I ran out of ammo for my Bratton, and so I was like running back through the level to open every box that I could to try and find extra ammo for it to go back and fight him. And it was really exciting because of that, but these days it's like, okay, pads, I've got infinite ammo. Yeah, tricky.
Obviously you can't do that in Steel Path, but still
you can still drop 3.
Also, I completely didn't answer the question you were asking me. Are the Arcanes...
We get derailed.
We are masters of talking about other things today.
Yes.
Are the mods any good? The new ones actually are. Like Merciless gives you 30% damage, and it stacks up to 12 times on kill.
Sorry.
Right? It also gives you reload speed and ammo maximum, which is okay, but
so is that ammo maximum? Is that the amount you can carry, or is that the
yes?
Right. Okay. So not in the magazine. So, sorry, we're talking an additional 360% damage.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
the time on that? The how long the stack lasts?
6 seconds. That's
Hmm.
plenty. If you're killing stuff.
No, wait. I think that got dropped down to 4.
Oh wow.
Regardless, it's still good. I think that was one of the things that they changed was for prime. No, for that arcane, it just got dropped down to.
Wait, just that one arcane?
So for secondary and primary.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was for one and not the other, and I'd be like, what? A difference between primary and secondary?
No, I did. No, I was going through them earlier. Primary and secondary, merciless arcanes, reduced merciless arcane duration from 6 to 4 seconds. Why we simply continue to balance these even after posting. In practice, we felt lowering it was a better start given the pace of a true merciless enemy killing.
I mean, with them being separate, they might find that, let's say, that's still too good for the secondary, but is all right for the primary, and they might chop, because they're separate, they could say take 1 second off the secondary one, and hey, maybe the rifle's not good enough. They could give it 1 more second if it's not working out right. But if they combine them, it reduces the amount of options they've got to adjust and play for them. I know it's more grind, but in the long term, it could be healthier for the game. So I'm going back to the point that they had there. Right, that's it for the replies, though. So, should we round off this topic? What do we feel? What's our conclusions? I personally, I'll start with mine, and then you two can give yours. I think it's fine that they're separate. I know it's going to be a lot of grind. I probably won't even get them both done for both primary and secondary. I'll probably only end up doing one, but I don't mind that. I think it's better for the long-term health of the game, and it gives them the options to adjust and play for it long-term. I'm sorry that you're going to have to do a little bit of grind, but oh, you have to play the game. I thought you liked it. It's not that big a grind. It's not like the Anthem bloody wall we talked about. I think it's fine. Go.
MC.
I started with completely different opinions that I ended up with. Managed to flip me with reason, which is good.
Reason!
Yes, woo, spooky. But yeah, it makes sense what they're doing. Also, one thing I kind of forgot about, Steel Path gets much harder as you keep going. Yes? It goes like from level 100 to almost 200.
Yeah.
Yes? So it's not like it makes sense for you to get these things in Steel Path. It's not a waste. You're not just making Steel Path easier as a whole. You're making it easier for yourself to keep progressing as you go through it. So that makes sense as well. So yeah, I can't find anything too bad about this change, actually. Now that I look at it as a whole after this discussion, I think it's actually pretty good.
I think you've hit on some. Sorry to jump in at the end of your thing, because I know Xeno probably wants to say his points, but I think you've hit on a key point there, is that for players coming into Steel Path, this is going to be great, because as they're playing through, they'll get a few Steel Essences, and they'll be like, whoa, I can get these cool arcanes, which they'll then use to progress through the Steel Path, and they'll finish leveling up their arcane even stronger as they go through. It'll feel a great experience. But for people who have already, say, cleared Steel Path the whole way through and have ridiculous melee weapons and go to the end of it and still cleave it over in 3 seconds with their stupid melee, and if they're no longer able to do that, that's why they're so vitriolic to this idea of a change, because they're losing that experience and then they're having to go play it to re-earn that through the arcane. So I think maybe that's why. And again, it's long-term health versus short-term pain. Sorry.
Yes, it is. It makes much more sense to construct your game for people that are actually going to play through it rather than the people at the very end, because that's what World of Warcraft did, and the rest of the game just withered and died. It's basically just end-game rating, and everything else is sort of meh.
Yep. Oh, wow. My point of view is move the mods back to Steel Path.
I think, sorry, Xeno, before you finish yours, you have, because of what we've just said on that, you've convinced me on the mods as well. I'm with you. I've changed my mind. I'm now with you on the mods. Let's move them back to Steel Path.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I do see the point of this post. I really do. And I really feel that there is a strong basis and ground for, if they're going to be identical, and I do mean 100% the same, then why is there 2 for each? But as I completely agree with my co-hosts here that, better the short-term pain than the problems down the road.
Mm.
And I do hope that DE stand firm with their decisions.
Also, if you're not going to put them in Steel Path or Arbitrations, where do you put them?
In the bin.
No, genuinely, where would you get the arcanes and the mods otherwise?
No,
If you're not going to be there.
MDRLOz.
No, they put them in Railjet.
That would go down great on the forums.
Oh yes.
They'd hide them in new Sisters of Parvos content and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
It's you can get them from the liches and shenanigans, and no, I mean people aren't doing Steel Path. People bitched and whined. They wanted challenge, right? DE said, "No, you don't want challenge. No, we want challenge. No, you really don't want challenge. We want challenge. Here's your fine. Here's your challenge. It's too hard. What the fuck? What the fuck?"
Yep, that's precisely it. People like challenge, I think, for a while. Like, for example, I like games where it's challenging to a point, right? I like challenging games, but I also like to be able to get to a point where I sort of beat the game and it's not as challenging anymore, right? It can take whatever amount of time. I like, for example, Path of Exile had a cool league which was Metamorph, and it was difficult. The Metamorphs were really hard, and I essentially spent 3 months trying to create a character that would survive it all instead of being one-shot by random bullshit. And I felt really accomplished once I did it. And once I did it, I didn't want to go back to challenging. I just liked where I was, sort of this cruise mode. But I like some challenge, right? Just not all the challenge. I feel like too much challenge just is not great long term.
You need to have a sense of progression, right?
Yes, exactly.
Like I liked doing the leveling progression in Diablo 3, like the first time, maybe the second time, right? But when the seasonal content came in and you could just, every season you could re-roll your character. No, I got bored of fucking doing the 1 to 70 content all the fucking time, right? It's, so you need to have the sense of progression. Same problem I have with Dauntless is I'm having to reset and do the baseline stuff all the time. I don't feel like I'm progressing. I feel like I'm getting knocked down a peg all the time. Whereas with Monster Hunter, there's truck tons of variations of the monsters, but at least I feel like I'm always building up and getting better. And this is why I want to see this stuff in in Steel Path. I want to see incentives to go do Steel Path, to get better at Steel Path, and then we can get, I don't know, Titanium Path, right? And it's harder again still. But people say they want challenge. They don't want challenge. They just want fucking content. That's all they want.
Yeah. Also, if your game is designed around farming, I think challenge just detracts from it, because if you're farming something and it's challenging, like mentally challenging for you to keep up with everything, you're gonna get fired out, like burned out very quickly. Farming needs to be chill. It does. If it's too easy, it becomes boring and you don't want to do it. But if it's too complex and too mentally challenging, I don't think you'll be able to do it for too long either.
I mean, a little bit of a tangent, and then we'll stop because I'm sure Loz will, like, garrot me or something.
No, I'm good. You can go on.
So, like, I don't like the fact that the mods have been moved to arbitrations, because I feel that arbitrations are designed for long endurance runs, and I don't have the mental, I don't want to say awareness or fortitude or anything like that. I don't have the mental
stamina
capacity. Yes, stamina is an excellent word. I don't have the mental stamina to keep engage with that. I much preferred ESO, and ESO is something that I think is a really healthy place because you jump in and out, in and out. That's what it's designed to do, is really quick, really heavy endurance, not endurance, heavy
intensity. It's very intensive, very
intense,
high intensity
yes.
situations. It puts you. It puts you in. It puts you in the
moment,
the core of the fight, and then it takes you out and puts you back in the core of the fight for multiple iterations. Whereas the longer situations like the defense or survival you'll find in arbitrations, it's very very long, very labored, very enduring. And obviously there will be the core points where you have those core fights, but then it's like, okay, now you have to wait for the next wave, or now it calms down a bit and you're like, okay, right, I'm just gonna persevere through again, gotta build myself back up, instead of back to the what did you call it, the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, where it's bam, straight into the fight. Because that's the problem that we always used to have back in the day with Void missions, before the relics. We loved them, but they were great an hour in. It's when you were at the core of the fight, the intensity. It took forever to ramp up to that, though. And just that's the issue, is arbitrations are like that. Very slow, labored, long. Ugh.
So my question is, no matter what, at some point in time, you're going to feel the same, right? But my question is, how long, what is your limit on mental stamina when it comes to Warframe?
I'm going to say about 20 minutes a mission nowadays. Because for me, Warframe always was great because the missions were so short. You jump in and out and you're done. Right? You just enjoy the mission and you might run 10, you might run 50, or you might just run 3.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I think I was able to do it for much longer because I was doing it with other people on TeamSpeak. So it wasn't really that we were in the game. We were mostly just talking like we're doing now. We would basically be doing the exact same thing that we are doing right now on Discord. It's just that we would be pressing buttons in the game at the same time. And I think that helps because it distracts you from it, so it sort of recharges your stamina.
Yeah, no, I mean, like when we were doing, so this footage that we've been talking over has been, for the most part, Loz, myself, and Nazeth doing, oh God, what are they called? Thank you. And the first one we did was survival. We did that for like 30, 40. No, we did it for 50 minutes, didn't we? We did it for nearly an hour.
Yeah.
And that to me felt great. It felt very smooth and fluid. But the next one we did was a defense, and we had no control over the mission type, which again is something I don't like about arbitrations. And we got half the Vitus Essence, whatever called. I like to call them different things all the time. But yeah, and again, that I really feel is this is again why I don't want them in. But anyway, I'm just laboring the point there. I do feel that being rewarded for staying in these really long missions is not great for the game.
Actually, you know what? One endless mission type that I like is actually Kuva Survival in the Kuva Fortress.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Where you can pick up the canisters and slap them onto the life support device, and you get a Kuva if you defend it.
Yeah.
It's great because it's sort of this, constant survival thing with spikes of excitement where you have to defend the thing. Because I usually don't run frames that can defend it easily, like Limbo or Frost. I usually run something like Inaros or So this sort of high intensity defense where I have to kill things fast or they destroy my thing, that's sort of what wakes me up and allows me to run there much longer.
I think the mission type that drains me the most is defense, because there is no set time. Like survival, set time. You capturing the point thing, interception. Again, it's a set time based on how many of the points you've got, right? Defense, so much of it is just waiting around for enemies to run at you. And yeah,
that's fair enough. I'm not a massive fan. I don't usually do defense because I mostly level my weapons in defense.
Right.
don't want to do more defense.
Yeah. Right. Sorry for me rambling.
That's Xeno
off.
rounding it up.
Yes. Right. Okay. Cool. Rounding it up now. Right. Okay. So I think we're done with the topic. Let's make the topic go away. Let's go to the graph.
Before we go to the graph,
Graphs.
what does arbitration stand for?
Arbitrations.
Arbitration is a procedure in which a dispute is submitted by agreement of the parties, one or more arbitrators, who make a binding decision on the dispute. In choosing arbitration, the parties opt for a private dispute resolution procedure instead of going to court. What's that got to do with funny people sitting in a room sending drones at you?
Well, I think the whole point of the arbiters was to be the people that advocated that the warframes were more than just, warriors, more than just killers and things like that. So even stemming from the original, this is what the arbiters are. I mean, who knows?
And what is Hexis? These questions
It's
are
a
more to be
word.
answered. Right, let's move on.
Let's not talk about how things are named in Warframe. That is a
Otherwise-
rabbit hole we do not want to go down.
Snipertron.
Yeah, it's not a cat, it's a cavat.
Oh,
Huh?
God.
Not a dog,
Right,
it's a
okay.
Kubro.
Okay.
Wasn't it one of
turn off-
the devs that named Snipetron? It's a
It was Scott.
Snipetron.
Yes,
It's a
Scott.
Snipetron.
Making a sniper. What's it called? Snipetron.
Snipertron. My line of naming. Right, turn off the topic title.
Boop.
Right,
Boop.
so first graph. Okay, so because of the topic was about the dev workshop, we were talking about glaives and how glaives were being adjusted and stuff, and I asked the question, do you actively use glaives? 26% of the responses said yes, and 74% said no. MCgamerCZ, do you actively use glaives?
I do. I absolutely love glaives with volatile rebound. It's a really fun mod. I like it. And I think just the whole throwing glaives is really fun.
I need to try this. I need to find your builds and
just
There you go.
there's a comment which is just for this point anyway from Faber. I don't know if you know this, but glaives have become extremely popular since the latest buff/rework, making them some of the most popular melee weapons. They do extremely high damage. Oh, but
have to give
not
it
in
a
our
go.
They
community.
make big boom.
They make big boom.
they make big boom. Right. Okay. So before Loz presses the next button, never mind.
I held, but then I think the way these buttons work is it sort of slow pushed it anyway. These are weird
Right,
buttons.
okay. So during the dev workshop thing, they were talking about the helmet change with the whole invigoration system, where 3 warframes that week will be able to be invigorated and thus better for the course of the week, so on and so forth. Loz raised a really valid point of what if you decided to purge your entire collection of warframes down to a select 3, and thus you always got the 3 warframes that you wanted.
Yep.
So off the back of that, I asked a question: would you consider purging your pool of warframes to always invigorate a chosen few? 0% said yes and 100% said no. I am happy with this. We finally got a full 100% on something.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
There was a comment saying that it has been said that it will be from all the warframes for this, but then nobody was able to back it up, so I don't know if that's true. It seems
Right.
weird to do it. I don't know to do it that way, because then it'd be like for newer player or most players, they might be like, oh well, that's kind of forcing me to have every warframe, or I don't know. Seems a bit weird, but yeah, I'm happy we got 100%. No one will be getting rid of warframes.
MC?
That is interesting. If I wasn't, here's the thing. Because I'm a content creator, I would not purge
Yeah.
the pool of warframes because I want to have access to them.
Yeah.
If I wasn't, though, I would absolutely do that because I
Really?
only play with a select few.
Hmm.
I'm not too much of a warframe person, like a frame person. I'm more
Yeah.
of a gun and weapon person. So I mostly run Inaros, every now and then Wukong, and then maybe I'll use Sarin for Sanctuary Onslaught. So I only use few Warframes anyway, so I might as well invigorate them. If there was enough of the slots, I would probably do it if I didn't make videos on YouTube.
Right, let's move on to the next graph.
That's 3.
Yep. Do you always use body count? Again, this was something off the back of some comment Loz and I said where we always use body count. 60% said yes, 84% said no. I mean, how can you not use body count?
Because they use Drifting Contact or they use Naramon.
Or Gladiator Rush.
Please elaborate. What are these things?
Well, Naramon has a node that only makes your combo counter decline by, I think it's 5 hits instead of the entire combo every time it ticks down. So you don't actually have to use it, and you can use something else. And Drifting Contact is just a slightly weaker version of body count, so it extends your combo counter by slightly less, but it also gives you status chance. It only drains 5 capacity, and it has a D polarity. So it's great for weapons that have an innate D, so you can just slot it in there and get an even cheaper. I think it goes down to 3.
Wow.
And there
what was the third one?
There is another mod called Gladiator Rush.
Which
it's not as good as Drifting Contact's the best one, but Gladiator Rush it's only 6 seconds more on the combo duration. It only costs 9, but it also gives you, it's a part of a set, so 10% critical chance per combo multiplier. So that's not bad.
Mini Blood Rush.
Yeah, Mini Blood Rush, yeah, but with combo duration. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. So I didn't know either. I mean, me, it was body count for life, and then I'm like, what? These other options? So sorry, I just want to give benefit because Tony Kovanen also did this. So I used to have body count on every melee, but I found a better mod for the same purpose, Drifting Contact. It gives 10 second combo duration compared to body count's 12 seconds, but it also gives 40% status chance and only takes 5 points rather than body count's 9. In my opinion, a loss of tiny 2 seconds doesn't mean a thing when I can increase my damage capabilities and in most cases save 1 extra former. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I appreciate body count is a common mod, but it wasn't easy to obtain. It was a limited time mod, so it's a bit ridiculous that they sometimes put in a mod that is just so much better. Though these mods stack, by the way, so you can have all of them if you really want.
Ultimate
combo duration.
Right? Yep.
You can just meditate in between hits.
Yep. Let's go for the next one. How do you feel about? Sorry, whoa.
How do you feel?
How do you feel about the proposed gun and melee changes?
Oh, okay.
So I'm just putting my phone on silent for a second. Right, then we have 11% said positive, 21% said neutral, another 21% said negative, and 40% said no opinion / wait and see it in game. And I'm actually kind of surprised the number of people that are negative. But
really,
Blood Rush.
in our community I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. I thought I thought it'd be slightly different. Right, and then the last graph is do you think the Sisters of Parvos are being trained by Tenno, or are they out to kill us?
What do you mean trained by Tenno? I mean, they're always gonna kill us.
So no. So in the last week, I gotta stop knowing so many times. Last week we had a topic which was about why is
I remember the topic, and I looked up the shown footage of what he said.
I'm gonna at least elaborate for MC.
Oh yes, of course.
Right.
Wanted to fight the point.
So at the end of Deadlock Protocol, Parvos seems to be inviting the player or the Tenno to his round table of dealing with the threat from Tau. Right? And one of the replies from the topic proposed that we are not actively trying to kill the Sisters of Parvos. We are instead trying to train them up to be another fighting force that can fight against the sentients. I hope he's
So they come after us, so that in missions, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. So that we can fight them, so they can learn.
Yeah, I think you've twisted it slightly, Xeno. It wasn't ever this almost seems like we're being benevolent. We're just a training factor. It was more that I forgot his name again. Golden Hand.
Parvos.
So
right
Parvos,
there.
Oh yes. So Parvos, it was more that Parvos is aware of the threat from the void, and he's doing these sisters. Well, what is he going to do with these sisters? Well, he needs to train them against the strongest thing you can find, which is the warframes. Not that we're like, oh yes, we'll train with you under our shared armistice, where we work towards better preparement for the sentient coming. No, it's more like, I need you to be as strong as possible. You have to try and beat that. You might die fighting that, but if you can't beat that, you ain't gonna beat what's coming. That's the logic. Not, oh yes, we're helping them learn. No, it's like, if you can't beat that, you ain't beating that, because that used to beat that. And there's a lot more of that coming. So you try and beat that now. Oh no, it killed you. Well, could you die now than later when that turns up?
Fine, take it that way if you wish, right? Adapt the question in your head. The point is, 21% said that we were going to, so we should be trained. So
we'll train.
21% think we'll be training them, and 79% think that they are out to kill us.
Yes.
Right. What do you guys think? Do you think that Parvos is saying go fight them to get better to go fight them, or do you think Parvos has gone, no, go kill them? Just go. They're bad. They're bad. I changed my mind. I don't like them. They tore up my invitation.
It's not quite that. It's more, as I say, it's more, if you can't beat warframes, you are not beating sentience. Yeah, because warframes used to beat sentience. Yeah, it's like, throwing something against a wall, and if it can't break through the wall, well, you're just fodder now. Better you die now. I don't waste time, resources training you. I train someone better.
My point is, it's either that, what you have just said, or for some strange reason, Parvos has flipped on a dime and has just decided that, he wants us dead.
I don't think so. It seems weird because he doesn't directly address the character or the Tenno or say anything about that. Or even when you do the killing, he doesn't even complain. It is the same for the Kuvelich. It doesn't ever do any comment referring to the thing that killed the thing, or like, I'll help you get revenge or anything. It's more like, you died, now you will never die again, kind of thing. Doesn't see any antagonism towards us, is what I'm saying.
Okay. MC?
I'm a big thicky bobo when it comes to lore, so I'm trying to wrap my head around what's even happening with the Sisters of Parvos, but I genuinely have no idea.
That's fine.
Like, it seems like it would be dumb to try and train against us. We have a great track record of just breaking everything we come across.
That's true.
But we're not invincible.
Yeah, that's true.
Aren't we?
That's true. But do you really want to try with like your most elite fighters? Like, they're destructible. Go and try it. If they break your kneecaps, okay, you lost.
But remember the way that these ladies are going to fight us. They're going to design dog mowers or dog proxies to fight against us. So in theory, maybe that they're gonna, and they will. The dog proxies and things will iterate and get stronger and they'll get stronger as they fight you. So they are getting stronger for that goal. So they're a bit like what's supposed to happen with Alad V and his stupid amalgams, but that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I have problems.
It does make more sense that they're designing Haikas, right, and sending them after us. Then, the thing they do. Okay, that makes more sense. Try to figure out. Okay, you're gonna fight warframes in a way where you try to figure out what's the best Haika to take them down. Yeah, that makes sense. Rather than headbutting us and trying to figure out why it doesn't work and why we hurt so much.
Right. Okay. So that's it for the graphs. Show you my move on to the. Oh God, the memes.
No.
Supporter questions. Sorry, I didn't have the thing in front of me.
Okay, first of all, we'll move on to supporter questions. So these are lovely people who support Xeno through either Patreon or trophy?
Yeah, but it's just Patreon at the moment.
Just Patreon at the moment. Okay. Is that being paused or something, or was that a thing?
Patreon is being paused for July because, or June rather. So in July there'll be no payment taken.
Right.
Because yeah.
So, first of all, Zoogle. Before I read out Zoogle's question, I want to ask our lovely audience to hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. Also, it would be greatly appreciated if you could comment down below, and I promise I read every comment. Yes, and I promise we read. He doesn't read anything. So I read everything.
I can't read. Actually, to be fair, I tried to read Zoogle's comments on this because he's using weird font. I can't literally read it.
Nothing weird about that font. Lovely. Please use it all the time. That way it's just you.
It hurt my brain.
Anyway, no, if you put a comment in this video, I read every comment on every video, even the satellite episodes, before we go live, so that I at least read them, and some of them I'll read out in a bit, or if there's any points to get across or questions if you've got for Xeno or me. So they get read, I promise you.
Graph, turn the graph on.
Oh, the graph on, is it? There we go. Ooh. Right, so yeah, so any comment you put below, it will be read. I can promise you at least that. Right, Zoogle's question. Do you think Mastery Rank 30 players could be exempt from the rule of not taking a fully leveled frame into a sortie mission? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, yeah, of course, because you don't lose anything by putting on Forma.
And it would be a nice reward because, I mean, you've made it to 30. Here is something that actually feels beneficial. You can then, don't have to worry when you're doing your sorties. You can just go with what you've got. You never have to worry about it. Yeah. I think that sounds like a very good idea. That's a very good point, Zoogle.
Yeah.
Go, Zoogle.
Yes. I vote yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Our decision is final.
We should remember that. I think that's important. I think that should be tweeted at somebody. Right. Anyway, Thalian. DE are updating the dev workshop with further iterations to the upcoming gun mods and arcanes. It does appear that feedback has been heard and testing is ongoing. But thinking of balance changes, what do you each feel was the most important balance change that Warframe has had over time? What change to a system that had both nerfs and buffs had the most significant change in the game at the time? Whew. Ooh, I mean, there's
the removal of stamina.
Oh, he's picked the good one. Yeah, it is kind. It's kind of buff and nerf because it did gave us so much more freedom. But then I do feel the game has never caught up in level design with that freedom, and that was the starting point. Like before then, the amount of time you could wall run, the distance between a room, you'd have to balance it. You can't just run everywhere. Now, so there's that. That's a very good one, that is. Very good one. Thinking of changes, what do you each feel is the most important balance change that Warframe has had over time? What change to a system that had both nerfs and buffs had the most significant change in the game at the time?
As weird as it sounds, I want to say the mini universal vacuum that we had. I'm not quite sure what. I mean, I didn't like the addition, but I live with it. It's like I'm not gonna write home to Scott about it and demand that he remove it. But I like how they did it. I like how the fact that they stealthily put it in the game without telling anyone. And then when they revealed it's already in the game, you guys just haven't noticed. And then since then, it's gone silent. It's just completely like, when was the last time Universal Vacuum was brought up?
Wasn't it just Scott on his own? Didn't he do that on his own? They told him no, and he just put it in sneakily.
Surprised.
I think he said that on a dev stream, actually.
I don't know if if it was secretly just Scott on his own, but still, it was. Yeah, I honestly feel that Universal Vacuum has had like such a poignant impact.
Also, what may have been a bigger set of changes with nerfs and updates than the removal of stamina? The whole Weavergate fiasco.
Ah, that was a good one.
Do you remember that? When they nerfed a ton of
Weavergate?
Yeah, so it was.
Oh, yeah.
They basically, it was a node on Ares.
Yeah.
I think it was like a corpus defense or interception.
It was inside.
And it was farmed really hard with Radial Javelin Excalibur.
Yes.
And instead of changing the tileset or something, they just nerfed all the frames that were farming it.
Yeah.
And the forums exploded. And they had to revert it. And it sort of changed the way they nerf and buff stuff in the future.
I think they still kept some of the changes. First of all, they just completely nerfed it. Then there was changing back. I think they did make some changes to do with line of sight. Was the fix that held?
Yeah, that might be. It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I got a funny feeling they didn't change it to. They took away the line of sight. It was whether or not the enemy was in an alert status.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Sorry, yeah. So I think the first knee-jerk change was like a massive damage reduction, and it would be stopped by any piece of terrain. Now it's to do with the enemy's awareness of you. So if the unit has seen you, and if it goes by cover, you will hit them. But a mob that say just spawned and running towards you hasn't even seen your character yet won't get affected by it. Yeah. I have one. Which I both love, which I think was a massive change, which isn't good, but at the same time bad in other ways. And it's even earlier. When they changed mods to be personal loot, away from being personal loot.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it's a good thing because it meant when a rare mod dropped for everyone, which was fair. However, back in the day, you picked up every mod, and when someone said a mod's dropped, you came flying, because any mod you could pick up could be a rare mod, could be a common drop, but it was personalized to you, and you were excited every time you saw a mod drop because it could be anything. It was so exciting. It was like having a loot box continuously, like popping up continuously. I thought it was brilliant. Okay. Oh god, I remember the first time we did a Void Vault, and we managed to make it all the end through the parkour, which was hard because we still had stamina, and we got to the end, and we all got some rare mods because it was rewarding because it was random, and I got like multi-shot, and everyone was saying all these amazing mods. I'm like, I've just got multi-shot on rifle. Doesn't sound very good. I won't even say. And then everyone's like, I got like Thunderbolt, and I got like this shocking something. I was like, I've just got multi-shot. Oh, that's a shame. And I was like, I lost out. Oh well, okay, multi-shot. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I got that very early on, didn't I? So, but it was just the key thing. It was so exciting. Every level, you were wanting every mod, and it meant that the minute-to-minute gameplay was so exciting. However, it was a bit unfair when it's like, they got Streamline and I got Ammo Drum from the same pickup. It's like, yeah, but that you might get Streamline next time and they might get Ammo Drum next time. Not fair. So it needed some system to support it for some key mods, maybe, but overall, it meant that the work was so exciting, and so though I do agree it's fairer now, but I do miss those heady, exciting days. Maybe they should bring that back just for like a game mode or something. Oh, it was so exciting. Oh, yeah, there we go. Good. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's it.
You were very passionate about that.
Oh, but do you remember? Do you not remember? It was so exciting.
I actually don't.
Oh. So mods
It
were...
was...
I must have played during that period, but I either didn't know it was a thing or I forgot it was a thing.
I can't remember. Did they change it in 2013 or 2014?
I think 13.
Yeah, it was really early on.
Right, that is it for the supporter questions. So let's just go on to the topic. Community responses. Yes. Okay, so I've done some of them because I brought them in when they're important, but let's go with Benjamin Smarridge. I love the Mag Deluxe skin, except for one thing, the arms. I would have loved for the upper arm sections to be missing and just have the forearms floating with magnetism. Though I also don't like the chest cloth as it clips through her torso with every movement. So you would just been floating forearms, like Rayman style. I think that could have been cool.
Yep.
I don't think they would do it, because what about the inside of the frame, right? There is a big squishy spoilery thing in the frame. It wouldn't really work.
No. Look at the new Ember Deluxe. The new Ember Deluxe has a fucking hole in it.
Doesn't the Necros Premium have a hole right the way through the chest?
Well, you can have a hole in the chest, but decapitated arms?
Yeah.
Would that work?
Void magic makes them float.
It's Space Ninja magic, I guess. Yeah.
And the squishy stuff is just in the forearm and in here, and it magically works. Okay. So last week, me and Xeno didn't know about quirks for liches. So Bones the Wonderful says, a lich quirk is a personality trait that gives them different voice lines. That can be fear of children, poor sense of balance, angered by Loz and Xeno not knowing the definition of a word because of a feckin' anime. Yes, okay, fine. We looked at quirks. No, but the thing is, I like this in some ways because I think it is cool that I didn't know these quirks existed. But the problem I have with them is some of them are really good. Like the fear of children one actually has an effect when you come out as a, Tenno, when you do the when you fight the lich. And there's another one, fear of vertigo, where apparently the lich won't go above ground. It won't go up ramps, and it won't because it has to stay on the ground floor. But then there's other ones that are like fear of infested, and so if it spawns on an infested tile set, it'll moan at you. What is that about? I do feel they could have put a bit more effort into that.
Did these actually work?
Apparently.
I guess I don't pay enough attention to it. I've killed and captured like 30 or 30 or so.
I've
never noticed it.
I've done 19. I've had 3 quirks out of the 19, which is why I didn't know they were a fucking thing. I've had fear of being alone, which apparently they make a comment when
you kill all the other Grineer. Yeah.
Yeah. God, what was it? The vertigo one, which and then the fear of the infested. I'm like, you don't fucking go on infested tiles. What the shit are you talking about?
It's like, I didn't bring you here. You came on your own.
Yeah.
God, yeah. So it's
it would make more sense if he wouldn't fight you on infested tiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like he's scared of the infested. He doesn't like them, so I need to go to a different planet to draw him out.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick Evans. Okay, Loz. I turned back into the footage during the quote section. I watched you do that damn spy vault with the central tower and the bridges you extended to get to the door. My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined. You went to the top of the tower twice. And you didn't notice there's a damn hole in the floor straight into the console room from the top. You can just jump up there from the entrance, drop straight down. The job is done in literally 7 seconds. But
which one's this one?
It's a Grineer one.
You enter. There are 2 doors, one on the left, one on the right, and there's a tower in the middle, and you can just bullet jump straight up, and there's a hole in the ceiling, and you literally finish the vault in like 3 seconds.
I think on higher level versions, halfway up there are like fields to stop you going through, but there's boots round or something.
No.
No. I swear there is.
If
I
it's the one
like doing the vaults.
I don't remember you doing that vault though, because I watched that footage while we were talking. I don't remember you doing that vault.
I don't know.
But I do know exactly the vault that MC Gamer is talking about though. Right? I think like I'm gonna have to check, but I'm pretty anyway. Also, can I just say, like, I watched mere moments ago when you're playing this Excalibur during the survival. And you got out your, I don't know if it was your Exalted Blade. Or, You're doing it now. You're fucking doing it now. What the hell's wrong with your mouse? Why can't you keep it still? You're just like, what the hell's going on? I want to throw up. Like, keep your damn mouse still. Like, you're trying to hit the fucking arbitration drones. You're spazzing out so much that you're hitting like the enemies that are immune. And like, no, this is keep your mouse still, you'll see this drone. Oh god, I'm gonna throw up now.
I don't know if it's just oh no, this really annoys me. This point, by the way, right? Because I think the way it works is if you have Exalted Blade out and you go into a nullifier bubble, it doesn't put the Exalted Blade away. You just can't melee. I was like, what's still in my hand?
Is that actually a thing?
I think it is.
Yeah, I did it earlier because it's like
terrible.
Just put it. I thought it'd put it away and I could shoot, but it wouldn't, and it's still in his hand. Oh no.
Anyway, weird spazzy mouse movement with melee.
Nick Evans, right, last point. Referring to, would I purge my arsenal to get the buffs, only the frames I want? The answer would be nope. I absolutely want a random roll of my frames, having every frame available so that I am encouraged to play a frame that I usually don't. That's a good point. I should have kept that when we had the poll, but yeah.
That's something I kind of wish arbitrations were better at. I dislike like the the incentive you get with arbitrations, like, can we that invigoration thing? Can we also have that for arbitrations where you choose which one of 3 you want?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right? Because, like, oh, it's Baruch.
Power strength for Loki.
Yeah. Anyway.
That decoy damage, though.
That decoy damage. Right, that is it for the replies. Let us move on to the memes.
Right, so I'm going to copy and paste these to MC. There you go. And I'm going to open the first one, and then I'm going to take down the time.
Okay, so we're going to go through some memes. All these memes come from the r/memeframe subreddit. If you're ever bored, go onto Reddit, go to r/memeframe. People put memes up there every day, and some of them are hilarious, so I've taken a small sample of them, and we're going to look through them. But there's also the secret meme of the week, which I normally make is a small video, because we're showing still images here, not videos. So check that out in the description, where there's all the other stuff. You should be going to the description for everything. In that description, go find the secret meme of the week and have a look at that, because so far I think I've picked some good ones, and this one, I like this one a lot. But anyway, are we ready for the memes? So, meme number 1. So, is that working? Yes, it is. Xmas units when they see a Tenno after the Parazon rework. We have a JoJo reference here. Stay the hell away from me. I don't know. Is that some small girl? Is it? It looks JoJo. It must be JoJo.
It is. I think it's Golden Wind, but I don't remember this part of. No, I don't know.
It's confused the Xeno.
It has. I can't remember. It's either Golden Wind or it's Diamonds Are Unbreakable. I just don't remember this character. I don't think this is the main villain from Golden Wind. Anyway, yeah, they're still good.
Meme number 2. Laughs in eternal intermission. So we have the battle between Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, and Apex versus Halo Infinite. If Battle Pass never expires, how are you going to keep them playing? And then the Chad Halo goes with, having fun. And then there's just, down the bottom, Nora with her eternal intermissions.
Oh, God.
Yep, they never end. That's how you keep people playing. Right.
How long has this one been going?
Genuinely, we asked this last night. We don't know.
So long.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Was it this side of Christmas or last?
When did we get the fight with the glass man? Was that last summer?
Oh my
God. Yes, it was. Because it was after. Was it after or before Deimos? I want to say it's after Deimos. Shortly after Deimos came out. So I think it was like September. Or maybe it was August. One of the two. So we've had it for a while.
Laughs in eternal intermission. Right, meme number 3. Really not the smartest plan, is it? Normal crewmen. Shoot them with various energy weapons. Nullifiers. Disable your abilities. Mowers. Swarm them and knock you over. Prod men. Bonk.
Yep.
Yeah, the most advanced civilization. Indeed.
And they try to hit you with
a wiffle bat.
Wiffle bat?
A wiffle bat.
Yeah.
It's true. Meme number 4. Pain. When you've been in a defense for 2 hours and someone fails the mission with a radiation proc.
Oh.
That is a dead face.
Oh, yeah.
Probably Xeno. Right. Meme number 5. Warframe mods in 2035. Galvanized pain. Plus 30% damage on kill after you double jump and land a headshot. Plus 20% multi-shot on a 360 backflip circus stunt. Lasts 4 seconds. Stacks up to 3 times while spamming crouch.
Don't give them ideas.
Right. And then
it's like it's not even funny how close this is to some of the parkour mods we have in the game already.
Yeah.
Like if you wall latch for 12 seconds, you have more status with your melee weapon. Why would I wall latch for a melee weapon?
Yep.
Just don't.
The final meme of the week. It's just dark once you start looking into it. Endless war, cannibalism, taxes, etc. The lore of Warframe. Warframe's community. And I feel this exactly summarizes my view of the game. We have our grim, dark, evil game, which should be nothing but darkness and death and everything. And then, as we're going to move on to the community shoutouts in a sec, you'll see we have the lovely, fluffy Warframes community that do nothing but make this horrible dog into this nice, fluffy dog. Right.
Yep.
Am I wrong?
Nope.
Nope.
Right.
Kind of wish it was like Fashion Frame though.
What? Which one?
It's just
No, Fashion Frame was the one on the left.
The lore of
No,
Warframe
no.
versus Warframe Fashion Frame.
Yep.
That's very true. Right, well, that's it for the memes of the week. And remember, there's the secret meme of the week in the description below. Now we'll move on to the community shoutouts that Xeno has found. So, shoutout number 1.
I need to quickly send them to... There we go. Right. So, shoutout number 1 is Fishing by Shin.
Oh, that's lovely.
I honestly love this. I kind of thought it was like an animated thing. But yeah, I genuinely really like this piece.
It is an animated thing.
Is it an animated thing?
There's a YouTube link in the description of the thing. It's only short. It's only, the oberon moves its head, and there's like fireflies moving and a fish in the pond, and yeah, I don't know what this is made in. There you go.
Probably something like Blender or
well, I've seen these
Cinema
things.
4D or something.
Yeah,
What?
I think Cinema 4D, like you say. First, there's only one reply to the video. Can you do Terror List? Like what? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, but so there's the description in the description below. Take the community shout out link to the first one, and then on that Twitter page, there's a link to the video if you want to see it.
Oh, cool. I think they tried to post it on Twitter, but Twitter kept on going like, "No, too short."
Ah, right.
The second community shout out is actually a mix of different images, but it's "I Love Mag" by Wong, and I went.
And it's a thick mag, of course, because it is. Just, what do you expect?
I think I went for the third one, but yeah.
There's also Chibi Mag.
That makes it worse. It's chibi and thick. That's just like...
Right, moving on to shout out number 3.
This is my night.
It's worse. It's chibi and thick.
The third one is My Nidus by Ruined Bob. I actually really like this one.
Yeah, I love that Nidus skin. It is so good.
The Frike one, yeah.
And this is done so well.
Yeah. So not enough eyes. Needs more eyes. Let's get some more eyes in there.
It makes him look very sort of insectoidy.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yep. The fourth community shout out is Your Creator by Pascal. Loz needs to press the button.
No, I was about to comment. Insects they don't have that kind of eye.
Shush. Be happy with what's in front of you.
The science.
You're being told. Anyway, so
The
yeah,
next one is really creepy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lotus bed and just like noodly boy touching. No, it's really cool picture. It just feels wrong.
Especially when it's like Umbra and Ballas.
Yeah, a good point.
Yeah, but to me, I can't see anything but the Umberite reaching out like this, yeah? And then just going, Exalted Blade.
Cut
right through his arm.
Right now, I kind of wish you actually had your feet tracker logs, because I just wanted to say, like, yeah, could you do that pose?
I could, if I don't have the feet trackers on, but yes, okay, maybe next week. I could then be like, Exalted Blade.
The fifth community shout out is Mirage Prime by Zero Control.
Ooh,
Hello, my sweethearts, your triangle is here. Have to disappoint you and announce that the astrologers proclaim this month the month of mirages. Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's a glyph. That is just a glyph. That would be so cool.
Yep.
If you had it as a glyph.
Either that or one of the in-game posters.
Oh, yeah. I would love to have this in my orbiter. That is sick.
Yep. And then the 6th community shout out is weapon. That's the wrong one. Pause.
Push that button.
And now we have the right image. So this is Weapon Changes in a Nutshell by Mushkin. And I really like where this went. This lovely 4-panel comic strip. People go check it out in the description below. And yeah, the
It is very true.
yeah, the comments that I got for retweeting it. Apparently, I'm not allowed to like funny things.
Really? People gave you stick for this?
Internet, of course. No.
Yeah,
Freaking hell, liking this right now.
yeah. I got shit for this.
You know what? I'm gonna like it as well. I'm gonna log into my ancient Twitter and like it as well to annoy the internet.
Right, okay, that's it for the community shoutouts.
God, someone's actually gone like, no, the maths actually, it'll go from the
Yeah. Have you found the comment?
There's always the actually guy everywhere.
Find the numbers actually will
He's
actually go
everywhere.
down by
There's always one guy. Yes, that he's always there.
Right.
Right,
So that's it for the community shoutouts. Let's wrap the show up and let's do the quote. All right. You guys ready? Ready ad infinitum? Good. When I was 19, I did a corpus in Themisto from 1,000 yards out. It was a Latron shot in high winds. Maybe 8 or even 10 warframes in the Origin system could have made that shot. It's the only thing I was ever good at. Well, see you tomorrow. Do you want it again?
No, I got just what it was. Very tricky. They're saying about taking a shot, so it's something about a marksman. Is it enemy at the gates?
Nope.
Is it about snipers?
Nope.
Well, maybe the person is very disparaging of themselves, and they're saying that was the only thing they were good at. So let's ask this normal questions. So this film, is it before or after year 2000?
Before.
Or the year 2000. And what's the genre?
I'm gonna make it easy on you. It's a buddy cop movie.
Doesn't really make that easy. Body cop.
No, I was no. I mean, like that just like chops out so much. Yes, there's a lot of buddy cop movies pre-2000, right? But it's like okay.
Is it a Lethal Weapon film?
It might be a Lethal Weapon film.
I don't know.
As in, yes, it is a Lethal Weapon film.
Well, then I'm just going to guess until I don't even know how many Lethal Weapon films there were. I know there were just several, so I'm going to go, is it Lethal Weapon 1?
Yes, it is Lethal Weapon.
I was going to go, is it number 2? Is it number 3?
Yeah.
No, it was good. What's the actual quote, the original one?
So the original quote is... When I was 19, I did a guy in Laos from 1,000 yards away. It was a rifle shot in high winds. Maybe 8 or even 10 guys in the world could have made it that shot. It's the only thing I was ever good at. Well, see you tomorrow.
Huh. Okay. That was good.
Yeah. Have you seen Lethal Weapon?
Well, I've been told repeatedly that my taste in movies is atrocious and terrible, so presumably I've only seen bad movies, so don't ask me about movies. I only see the bad ones, apparently.
What films do you like, then?
Well, dumb movies. I am not much of a movie person.
What's your favourite movie?
Favorite? The original Jurassic Park.
It's an amazing film. So good.
How can people say you have bad taste? Those people have bad taste in movies. You got good taste in movies.
And for the time it stands up today. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rewatched it recently. It is just
so good.
Do you want to hit the... and we could just continue to chat about how amazing his taste in movies is.
Okay, second favorite film. Let's go. Come on. Let's see if we can find something bad in here.
Second favorite?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Terminator 2.
Oh, come on!
That is not bad. That is an amazing film. That is the best Terminator movie, and potentially the best James Cameron.
Yeah, or
Is
you
James
linked to it in some way.
No, it is James Cameron. It's like that is potentially the best James Cameron movie, right?
And one of the best
Terminator-
sequels of all time.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, like Terminator 2 is fucking incredible. Again, anyone that disputes otherwise deserves a slap.
Again, graphics and CGI holds up even today, and the story
Yeah.
holds up.
People are just full of crap.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. We'll go through for
Third.
3. Third favorite film.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
Doesn't
come
matter
on.
which-
Who are you talking to? Bring these people to us.
I don't know. I can just envision that someone like these people say that Jurassic World is a far superior movie to Jurassic Park, and those people need a slap.
I still like Jurassic World. I didn't like it as much as the original Jurassic Park, though.
Yeah. Right, yeah. Jurassic Park, that was much better. Yeah. You know?
I don't know if we can be friends anymore. You should turn off.
Well, on that note, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And